renovations, we got them waiting. Took a little minute, was patient, but now we take it. Anytime we want in this game, my situation is entertainment intertwined with information. Alchemist soul, how we move the tassel and roll. It's amazing how we can turn something brass to gold. And we steady making hits. Architect with the prop in the scripts. It's logical that the product will flip. My boy Chef did the lineup, I'm fresh in the bitch. Carnivorous podcast, the newest show on the list. DQ on the boat, so I'm rocking the ship. While the music gon' be dope and the artist legit. Hold my beard, concrete cord, then stepped in the door. See, that's my man, and he reppin' for show. And two saviors, a player with flavor. Lexicon Taylor, lines on point like a laser. We need that paper, we building the vault. Cause you niggas don't listen, y'all be waiting to talk. Lack accountability and try to make it our fault. But opposing us is trying to arm wrestle the hawk. You coming up short on your re-up, nigga we up. Really wouldn't want to be up. I kick my feet up. My beef is wagyu and my trunk is all speakers. Bills is all blue and my blunt is all reefer. Responsible deniability, that boy eater. High quality whack juice by the liter. They like to call us ops, we got Oppenheimer features. That's the bomb out on the island just to teach you.
What up, though? Happy New Year, all that good stuff. We just waiting on Chef to get in here, Chief X to get in here. We got True Saviour in the building. We got Logic in the building. I hope y'all had a great Christmas. Wishing you a happy New Year if I don't talk to you before then. Be live on Tribe Media, live on Carnivorous Podcast. We're going to have an FBA conversation, and I think it would only be right to have this conversation with True Saviour in the building. Our resident FBA member. So one of the things that I thought when I was putting together the show was that I watched a lot of people's content on FBA, and a lot of it to me is a little distasteful. It's a little disrespectful to me. I guess people have a problem with people being anything or wanting to be in any kind of group or any. So I don't know what that is, but I want to sort that out live tonight. I don't know necessarily how long we're going to be live, but I definitely wanted to have a conversation and talk to a member of FBA. And if you're in the chat and you're a member of FBA, we definitely want you to come up. I want to get some clarification on some things. Obviously, we'll have the Fat Joe conversation. We'll have the hip-hop conversation, and it will move from there. I would be remiss with me being the resident political guy without announcing Jimmy Carter. He passed away today at 100 years old. Probably the single greatest international ambassador in the history of politics. He stood for a lot of different things. I might actually do a show on Jimmy Carter because he's one of my favorite presidents. One of the people that he literally held office in a way that you're supposed to hold office, in my opinion. But I would be remiss if I didn't at least start a show that I'm doing off with respect to Jimmy Carter passing away. But we got Logic in the building. Logic, what's going on, G?
Man, what's up, man? About to have a cool little conversation with my man Saviour. But I think some of the stuff that Saviour's going to be bringing up is definitely some interesting stuff, and I'm kind of more interested in where we're going to agree than disagree. But there'll always be a couple of those things in there.
Okay, and we got a shout out to my man Hits. Hey Logic, if you don't mind, can you go into Discord and send the link to Chief I just realized there's no way that he would be able to come up here because, and matter of fact, shout out to him. Happy birthday yesterday. He turned double nickel. Jordan on the Knicks. Jordan against the Knicks. Yesterday, I think he said he was in Las Vegas chilling, but he did want to participate in this show. So drop the link in the Discord to Chef Corey and Chief X because I mean we're live on the channel. I want them to be here if they can. So True Savior, what's going on, my brother?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing amazing. It's been a great holiday. Even with setbacks, it's been a great holiday, and I think it's going to be an even greater New Year. My Ohio State Buckeyes play, and hope we get a rematch against Oregon. I'm kind of focused on that. Are you you got a New York hat on? You a Giants fan by chance?
No, it's just a hat.
Jets?
It's a hat.
Just a hat?
No, I used to be, but they too sorry. I ain't repping them. I ain't claiming them.
The Giants is the only team I know that when they're supposed to win, they can't. And now that they bad record, they're trying to get a high draft pick. They're supposed to lose, and now they want to start winning. It's hilarious to me. It's the funniest thing. It's the funniest thing ever. I would also be remiss. We did collaborate with a new collaborator. I am on the spot. She's going to be collaborating on a few shows with us for the next 6 months or so. It's going to be a lot of fun. I like her perspective. I say a lot of times all we do really is sit up here and have conversations about with a bunch of men talking to other men. You know, and in a way, I think we get a little cramped in our conversation, cramped in our perspective. So it'd be good to hear more of a female's perspective, an educated female's perspective. So shouts to I am wherever you are. I hope you're enjoying your New Year's. All right, so let's just get this going. So why I wanted to do this show. I feel like in this Fat Joe conversation, the who started hip hop conversation, one of the things that I think is getting lost in all of these conversations is just common respect for the lineage of FBA. Just common respect for that FBA is a lineage. I'm hearing movement. I've said it before. Movement, a business. I've heard all of these different things. And I love how they'll correct, but a lot of times FBA, Foundation of Black Americans, it gets a bad rap in a way, kind of like the Beehive or something. Like y'all just gonna just crash out and just start going crazy on people, this, that, and the other. And I think that's a little bit unfair. So True Savior is our resident FBA member. I want to ask you some questions. If you could just start with a little bit of your history in FBA, and then I'll go into more of a question. Does that work for you?
Well, yeah, sure. It's
okay.
For me, it's just being pro-Black American, standing up for what is yours, and just protecting what you achieve and what you accomplish as a group, and now we call it an ethnicity. Before we didn't call it an ethnicity. We were all dependent on. Didn't matter if you were from Nigeria or from the Caribbean or whatever. We all would be assembled or aligned or assembled in this one category called African American. But that is changing now, and because of all the friction between the groups, now it appears that it's important for Black Americans to really say, hey, we are different. We're of a different lineage. And therefore, the things that we need as tangibles may not be the same as other people who are Black or Latino or whatever the case may be. Our needs may be separate, and we need to deal with that on a separate level. That's basically how I see it.
Okay. All right. So now before we get into the hip hop conversation, because I definitely want to cover that. Shout out to my Eagles who beat the tongue out of the Cowgirls today with a backup quarterback, 41-7. Hey, listen, I'm still, I know we're gonna have these conversations, but it's Sunday, so I'm giving up my time to share with you. If you're a Cowgirls fan, I apologize that you had to go through the things you've had to go through since Emmett, Michael, and Troy Aikman have left. So moving forward, So where do you fall as far as Tariq Nasheed? Because and this is why I asked. I'm gonna just go ahead and get it started, and then we'll get into the hip hop thing in about 20 minutes. I know that's really what kind of everybody wants to talk about per se. So where do you fall? It seems like Tariq Nasheed and Lord Jamar was more the target of what Fat Joe was talking about.
Right.
Well, it's almost like he doesn't like them, not necessarily FBA, but that he didn't like them. So FBA is foundational Black Americans. Who started it?
Well, that depends on who you ask, because one might point to ADOS as like one of the first groups that coined a similar phrase. Basically,
And why would they do that? Why would people say that?
Why would they?
Yeah, why would people say that? Why would you say that it's like that the origin of it is in question? Why would you say that?
Well, because the main focus of FBA, whether it's FBA or ADOS, is really reparations. That's the main focus.
So the whole point of FBA starting is reparations.
No, I said that's the main focus.
Oh, the main focus.
Okay. That's the main focus. Reparations. That's the main focus. There are other issues, but that's the main focus. And the reason why we feel as though we need to delineate, because if we say all Black people in America, whether or not you're from Africa or the Caribbean, that you're entitled to reparations, then it becomes, and I got this from Tariq. Like, again, I don't agree with everything Tariq says, but if he says something correct, I'm gonna go with it. So, But basically, what he's saying, when you include everybody, then it becomes an issue of reparations for race, for a particular race of people. It's not about the people who were actually injured in America. So the purpose to delineate and say, hey, it's this particular ethnic group in America that needs to get reparations. Because let's face it, in the Caribbean, they have a thing called the CARICOM, the Caribbean Reparations Committee, which those Caribbean islands are trying to get reparations from the Brits, right? So we're not in their business saying, hey, we was enslaved by the Brits too. We should be a part of your reparations movement, right? We're not doing that. But when it comes to the Caribbeans and the Africans, they're saying, well, we need to be a part of what you guys got going on here. And we're saying, no. This is our fight. This is what we went through here. Why should you benefit if your family is not tied to this country before the Emancipation Proclamation? That's basically what it is.
So let me ask you a question. So in the chat, because I want to stick right here, right? I don't know how long the show is going to be, but I want to stick right here. So in the chat, I'm saying who started FBA. Now, obviously, I asked my resident genius, ChatGPT. And ChatGPT says foundational Black Americans movement. Hold on, it's not sharing. My screen isn't sharing for some reason. 1 second. Okay. So it says that the foundational Black Americans FBA movement was started by Tariq Nasheed, a filmmaker, author, and social commentator. He introduced the concept of FBA to highlight the distinct lineage and cultural contributions of Black Americans descended from enslaved Africans in the United States. So, but now I'm having a challenge, right? My challenge is this. And then, I want to get to this FBA as a lineage thing, because that's something that I don't understand. And also, I just want to let y'all know, a lot of times I come on to YouTube when I do these shows, devoid of a lot of research, because I want to try to understand. I want to learn. I'm coming in here in the spirit of learning. So if the fact that I don't know, if you think that's comical, that's great, but I'm trying to learn. So I'm seeing in the chat, and I've heard these things over the past couple of days. Shout out to Unbiased Sports. Shout out to Psychopatheus. They've done shows on these. Shout out to Matt Hoffa and what he's done. So now I'm seeing in the chat, so many people are saying, 1 second, I just saw it. Shouts to you, Gayasi Imhotep. I appreciate those kind words. That's dope. Okay, I am is in the chat. So it's saying Dr. Claude Anderson started FBA. Why are people saying that? Or why do you think people are saying that?
He came up with the term native foundational Black Americans. Or not foundational, native Black Americans, my bad. He came up with
Okay.
the term Native Black Americans. And when you listen to Tariq, he says that he took that idea from Claude Anderson and said the reason why he changed it to Foundational Black Americans, because a lot of people were getting confused and thinking we were saying we were Native Indians or whatever the case may be, whatever. So he wanted to say, no, we're not talking about indigenous people per se. We're talking about those who descend from slavery. So he came up with the term FBA, meaning Foundational Black Americans. So that's how that all came about. So yes, Claude Anderson is probably the origin of it. And Tariq flipped the name to suit a more specific targeted group of people.
So what is its relationship? I've heard also, shout out to ADOS, and I think her name is Yvette Carnell. What is the relationship to that? I hear her name brought up a lot when they're talking about the creation of FBA. What did ADOS have to do with that?
Well, that's ADOS is all about really.
Matter of fact, shout out to the 111 people that are watching this. It's a shame I could put FBA and hip hop in the title and everybody start watching. Yeah, this is gonna get spicy. So go ahead. Logic, did you put that link in the Discord for Chief and Chef now?
I did.
Okay, because I think we got like
I sent it to him in a
90
private
people
message.
live. I'm always so uncomfortable with 90 people live on Chef's channel without Chef or Corey. So it's a little bit crazy. And then this chat is already heating up. Could somebody be doing the links while I'm talking to posting the comments while I'm talking the truth. So all right, so what is that relationship? I apologize, I cut you off. Go ahead.
What? It's my understanding that ADOS came about because of reparations. So they were addressing the same issue. Those who descend from American slavery deserve reparations. They were not talking about any other Black person. FBA feels, apparently, from what I gather, like I said, it's not an official movement, but basically the conversation is that we're talking about the descendants of American slavery. Tariq just called them FBA. But like you read from ChatGPT,
you destroyed. You completely butchered the name of ChatGPT. By the way, go ahead.
Well, I don't use it. That's why
I just love people say it. The DQ says chat some wild mess too. Go ahead. Yeah. It's cool.
well, you know that the definition that you read, where it says other thing. Read that definition if you don't mind again.
Okay, I got it for you.
This is what I spoke to before.
Okay, so it says, I'm gonna put it back on the screen. Shout out to Corey in the building. Concrete Carnivorous podcast. All right, so it says the Foundational Black Americans movement. That's crazy, right? See, this is even on ChatGPT. This is the confusion. That's why I want to get these things out, because as soon as I say FBA movement, I get 1,000 comments of, no, it's a lineage. It's a lineage. Now, I know what lineage means. I don't know how FBA is a lineage, but even on ChatGPT, it says the Foundational Black Americans movement was started by Tariq Nasheed, a filmmaker, author, and social commentator. He introduced the concept of FBA to highlight the distinct lineage and cultural contributions of Black Americans descended from enslaved Africans in the United States. That's the title on ChatGPT.
Okay, so when he said highlight the unique contributions, that's why I was saying that it's not only about reparations, it's about all that Black Americans have done, and to be rightly credited for those accomplishments. And like we're talking about the hip hop thing with the Latinos claiming co-creation and all of those things, this is where it becomes an issue, because they're literally trying to claim things that we created. And so we're saying, wait a second, no. This is us. We did this. And so we're not, and again, and I know we're going to get into this later, we're not saying you guys didn't contribute or create things within the culture at some period of time. We're just saying that the foundation of the culture comes from Black America. That's the point that I've been making in all my videos. It doesn't point to excluding anyone. It's about saying, hey, if it weren't for Black Americans, there is no hip hop. That's what we're saying.
Okay. Logic, if you got any questions, go ahead. If not, I'm gonna proceed, because I want to start it off with questions, and then I want to get into this hip hop conversation once again. And also, sad to say, I'm not excited about it, but Fat Joe's usage of the word nigger. I think it is damn near embarrassing that we have to have this conversation, but I also respect the fact that we have to have this conversation because everybody's not on the same page. So might as well get it going. By the way, shout out to you, Truth. On 2 separate channels, we are 123 in the chat. So shout out to the chat. We're going to start reading some of y'all questions and y'all comments. I'm just waiting on Chef, Chief, and Corey to get to the panel. I want to give Truth a little bit of time to speak on his own. So let me ask you a question. Logic, did something you wanted to say?
I mean, so let me make sure I'm hearing you correctly. Like you're saying
Nothing argumentative, by the way. Nothing argumentative.
Don't ask him no questions.
No, ask a question, but nothing argumentative because I want to move forward and then we're going to get to that stage. I don't want to start off on that stage. So just a simple, plain, informational question, not argumentative question.
Right. I mean, I feel like I heard you close.
Yeah, I know how y'all get down.
I'm not even really trying to argue. I'm trying to like really understand what he's saying myself. So, I mean, I don't want it to be taken as an argument.
Okay, go ahead. What didn't you understand?
Right. He ended what he was saying is like they were the same. And I'm trying to like make sure you're saying that they're the same. It's a movement and it's a lineage. Is that what you're saying? They're the same?
One could interpret it that way. But the fact is that many people lose focus on the word lineage or the purpose of lineage. ADOS is about lineage, right? FBA is about lineage, but a lot of people don't even talk about that part. They only focus on the movement in order to make it appear. Huh?
Say that again.
A lot of people when we talk about FBA and ADOS, very few people focus on the lineage aspect of it. Both of them have a lineage aspect to it. Everybody want to focus on a movement, and when you focus on a movement, then you could easily make it about racism or being divisive and all those things instead of talking about what we're actually, fighting for, which is reparations. Both groups are fighting for that, at the end of the day. So I don't know.
So let me ask you a question. Is FBA a lineage or a movement or both?
It could be both. It can be both.
Okay. No. Not could be, would be, should
but
be.
See, here,
put it like this. An apple is red and has seeds. So here's my question. Is FBA a lineage, a movement, or both? Because every time I say FBA is a movement, I get comment after comment after comment saying that it's a lineage. And even in the chat right now, a comment, I think it was from a guy named New York Unity. He said that the reason why it's called the lineage is so that Tariq doesn't have to be held accountable. Now, I don't know what that means, but he's in our chat. He's watching us live. So I figured I would at least say it. I don't know if that's positive, negative, or otherwise. But just I need a firm stance on, is it a lineage, a movement, or both?
Well, because there's no official organization called FBA, it's difficult to say that it's a movement. However, one can interpret it to be that. But the main focus of the FBA is about achieving tangibles for the lineage of the descendants of slaves in America.
Tangible what?
How plain I can
say No. I like that. Achieving tangible what? What falls in the tangible? Are we talking about like reparations?
That's part of reparations, job opportunities, school. What do you call it?
Education.
Education for our kids. Help building, investing in our neighborhoods, things like that. All of those kinds of things that have been neglected purposely by the Democrats too. I agree. The Democrat Party been the main instrument behind the failures of the inner cities. But the Republicans, they all share blame. However, this is what we're talking about, tangibles. This is what we're talking about. So you could interpret it as a movement, but because there's no official organization called FBA, I can't definitively call it that.
So FBA is it a nonprofit S Corp
Again, you're
LLC?
saying it's an organization. I don't know. There is
Okay,
no,
so
far
it's
as I
not
know,
so.
there is no organization called FBA.
Ah, okay. Now I get what you're saying. Okay, I get what you're saying now. Okay, so this lineage that this website, this is the FBA website that you familiar with?
I'm not familiar with it. I don't go on a FBA
It says,
website.
"Welcome to the Foundational Americans Cultural Site." In the chat, y'all let me know if this is the official FBA website. Just let me know. And now I'm not interrogating you. I want to be clear. I'm just asking you because I don't know. And you're the only person I know that would know the answer to these questions. So speak about to me about the what there's three categories. Are you familiar with the three categories they say that makes up FBA? It's like on the flag or something like that.
I'm
Are
not
you
sure.
familiar with
To be honest, I'm not sure about the three categories.
that? Okay.
I could probably speak to them, but I'm not off the
Speak
top of
to
my
it.
head.
Speak to it. I'm gonna
No, no,
look
no,
it
no,
up.
no, no. Tell me what they are, and then I can speak to it.
No, I'm looking it up now. I know one
Oh,
is the three tenets of FBA. Let's say, because I find it now you piquing my interest. Because in the chat, I'm sure we have a lot of FBA members watching, Foundational Black American members watching, and I'm sure that it's funny how I don't know. I'll get more into that. Now I kind of wanted to go to the hip hop, but now I want to stay right here because now I'm having a little bit of a challenge with this. A little bit of a challenge. Hold on. Because I know one is let's see, the three. Uh I know one is does anybody in the chat know? One is Aboriginal. One is Aboriginal, correct? Three flag. The three True Savior. The three.
Yeah, I believe so. I think it's
So
like
you
Aboriginal, but that's the Native American part, right? And then there's descendants of slaves, and then there's something else, right? That what you're talking about?
yeah, right. So what are the three?
I think
Okay,
that's two. But the last one ain't really making sense. It might be like foreign born or something like that. That
okay,
don't
so
make
here it
sense
is.
though.
Here it is. I'm gonna pull this up. This is asking me, does this make sense to you? Truth. And you good, Truth?
yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Like I said, I ain't gonna interrogate you. We friends. As soon as it starts feeling like interrogation, just type stop in the chat and we
It's all
good.
good.
All right. So it says to qualify as a hold on. I feel like the chat is ready to hang me at this point. And don't mind me, I'm just learning. Okay, so to qualify as a foundational Black American, the criteria generally includes the following three qualifications. Lineage, you must be a descendant of Black people enslaved in what is now the United States. Culture, your family must have been part of the post-slavery development of Black American culture in the United States. And then three, your family should not have immigrated to the United States after slavery ended. The FBA designation specifically excludes more recent Black immigrants or their descendants. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
So now, where does the Aboriginal American part come in?
I don't know
Go
because
ahead,
that's a
Logic, if
separate
you
for me.
know.
For me, that's a separate conversation. I don't think that for me, because the term Aboriginal or
Okay.
indigenous is so vague to me because you got people who say that they're not related to what we know as the Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
They're their own group of Black people in America.
Right.
So you'll have two factions. I'm saying, sorry. You have two factions. One is we have Native ancestry or Native American ancestry, and then you have another faction that'll say, "Oh, we're not related to those Native Americans. We're our own Native people, Black people in America."
Okay.
So for me, that's problematic for me.
Right.
I can't. So for me, the definition of FBA, I don't deal with that because
Right.
I don't think that community got it together. You can't be both. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned. So they got to figure that part out. Because
No, I can dig it. I can dig that. I think that was one of my things when we talked about it. I had a conversation in our Discord about FBA, and one of the things that we looked at, and it's crazy because I guess the website got taken down, but there was a flag at one point, and on that flag, the first part of the flag was Aboriginal Americans. Now, I'm not, whatever a person wants to be, that's what you want to do. If you think I'm going to come here and tell you you're not Aboriginal, that's your business. I'm not a, that's not my job. If that was make you happy, get you up in the morning, then cool. But it said Aboriginal American. Now, and I was hearing people that were saying they were FBA, but they were also people that were saying that they can't stand, that they don't believe in Aboriginal Americans, like it doesn't exist, it's not a real thing. So I thought that was crazy. Like you're a member of this lineage movement, whatever you want to call it, but you're literally, for one of the 3 qualifications of it that was on this flag, you vehemently disagree with the first, you know what I'm saying? The first classification, qualification, whatever you want to call it. I thought that was crazy. Well, so go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Now, the first qualification was you had to be a descendant of American slavery, right?
Yes, the first one was lineage. It says you have to be. I'm gonna use the exact words. I don't want to disrespect. The exact words were, to be an FBA, an individual must trace their ancestry to Black people who were enslaved in the United States and emancipated there.
Right. So
then y'all don't like Jamaicans then? Was that?
Yeah.
Is FBA, is a Jamaican
wrong. It's not that we don't like it, the definition is clear to me. If your family does not descend from any Black people prior to 1863, if you have no relatives in America prior to that time, you are not foundational Black American. Now, you could have one parent, you could be from the islands, and you have another parent who their ancestry dates back to that time. Then you are, by lineage, you are FBA. But if you have none, you cannot be considered FBA.
So how do you feel about Jamaicans and Haitians?
I don't have the problem with Jamaican.
No. Wait. Wait. I misspoke. Not feel. Yeah, I don't really care. Yeah, not feel.
I love Jamaican.
Are Jamaicans? Are Jamaicans, Haitians? Are they considered foundational Black Americans?
No. Well, only if they
based on the qualifications. I'm saying
only if they have ancestry and prior to the proclamation, Emancipation Proclamation. Only if that. So you could, like I said, as long as you have a parent that has ancestry, yes.
Oh, and I agree to the chat. I agree. Man, y'all really like this conversation. I agree in the chat. Like was the wrong word. I agree. It's not. It doesn't really matter if we like them or not. So Tariq Nasheed and Lord Jamar. Let's have a conversation about those two specifically. They're considered, and I would say Dr. Umar, right? Or is that no? Isn't he the Pan-African person?
Pan-Africanist. Yeah,
okay, so he's the Pan. So let's leave him out of this. So Lord Jamar, in the news recently, Lord Jamar and Tariq Nasheed, and it seems like Fat Joe's issue was more with them versus Black Americans, as we go into this Fat Joe conversation shortly.
Right.
So Lord Jamar and Tariq Nasheed, I know we're not calling it a movement, a lineage, whatever we're calling it. They seem to me, if you had to grade them and how they're representing it as the face, now whether you choose them as the face or not, that's not what the face of anything is, right? Face of the NBA been LeBron James since he damn near been in the league, but there are some people that'll say whatever. There's no actual vote for it, right? So, but Tariq Nasheed and Tariq Nasheed definitely will be considered the face. How would you say he's been doing as the quote unquote face of the FBA lineage movement, whatever you want to call it? How would you say he's doing? And Cedric, Chief X, and Corey, I'm gonna say this again. We're live on y'all platform, please join the panel because your people on your channel want to hear from you. We got 80 people on Tri-Media and 80 people on, we got 160 something people listening to this conversation. We're reaching the end of the Truth Savior segment. I want to make this more of a panel before I open it up to the chat. And like and subscribe to the video. Like and subscribe to both channels. Carnivorous Podcast, Truth Savior's channel. Somebody put his link in the chat. Sosa World TV. I am on the spot. Am I missing anybody? Tri-Media Records. We got a new website coming up. I guess maybe I wasn't supposed to say that. And whoever else. I hope I'm not leaving anybody else out. Yeah, Carnivorous, True Savior. Yeah, shout out to Smash. So how would you say Tariq Nasheed, because it seems like he seems to be perceived as like a kind of divisive character. Would you, how would you see, how do you judge, and we don't like to judge, but how would you judge his job as being the face of Pan-Africanism? How would you judge that? How his job he's done so far?
Tariq is he's not trying to be the face of Pan-Africanism.
No, FBA, not Pan-Africanism. I'm talking about FBA specifically.
Okay. I think he's doing a good job with that. Personally, I think Lord Jamar is more. He's a little more shakier in my opinion.
Why you say that?
I can't be. I'm trying to think of certain things that I heard him say, but I can't. I'm trying to go off memory, hearing some of the things that he said. But I think Tariq is more on point when talk about tangibles and reparations and things of that nature. But again, Lord Jamar is pretty much on point too, but sometimes he go off a little bit. But I think they're both doing good, in my opinion, overall.
Okay. So now, with the, I'm just gonna keep saying movement. I mean no disrespect to anybody in FBA. All right, sorry, because this guy, I can't keep saying movement or lineage because I think that's more disrespectful. So the lineage FBA, financially, who? Okay, there's no dues, but I mean, there's things sold or whatever. Is there a financial aspect to it? Is there like a financial component to FBA that you know of, or in the chat? Y'all can educate us too. Is there a financial aspect to it?
Okay, as far as I'm concerned, I could care less about a financial aspect of it. And I'll tell you why. I'm more interested in the ideology of it. Now, if someone, and I think that's why Tariq, from what I understand, trademarked it because he wants to make money off the FBA. Okay, to each his own. But I'm for the ideology of it. I'm not going to hate on the brother because he want to make $1, But that doesn't diminish the overall purpose of what he's trying to present to Black Americans, whether he makes $1 or not. His idea and his purpose is important. So I'm not going to knock him because he makes $1 off of it. It doesn't bother me one bit that he does that. Now, if you want to buy his merchandise, you don't have to buy his merchandise. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that.
So he ain't forcing the merchandise on you. So if you want to buy it, then that's on you. You can't complain about it.
Okay, so it's
I haven't bought nothing from Tariq.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Because I did this show, for those who didn't catch the beginning of the show, part of the reason why I wanted to do this show is because I feel like FBA, I don't know if there's an FBA channel or people that are, that whatever. I feel like they're constantly getting attacked. The lineage of FBA is constantly getting attacked. It's constantly getting, people shooting arrows at it or for lack of better words. And I wanted to do this show as more of an informational thing. I wanted to do this show for more of I want to hear from somebody that is actually FBA, understands it to an extent. I'm going to open it up to the panel. I see that word tether. I swear to you, it sounds like it's around the corner from nigga. I get called a tether all the time. I guess because I'm trying to learn, but I know they kill logic with tether constantly. But I just want people to understand, if there's anybody FBA in the chat, or I want you to understand, like, I really don't know the answers to these questions. And if you feel like I'm being disrespectful, Call it out, because this is more the shows. This show specifically, before we get into the hip hop and the Fat Joe, the beginning part of this show and why I invited True Saviour up to the platform was because I wanted someone to just be able to explain it without it being so argumentative and divisive and feisty or whatever. So I appreciate what you've done. So any other questions on FBA, anything like that? And Logic, you're more than welcome to come into the conversation, because now it's going to get divisive. I know it's going to get divisive, because as soon as you start saying nigga, it just for some reason on YouTube, when you start saying it, it just starts getting divisive. So let's go ahead and do it. Fat Joe did a show, bro. If you under a rock, I guess you wouldn't know, but Fat Joe did a show. And on that show, Fat Joe said, and I quote, that he has an issue with Lord Jamar and the radical racists, right? And he feels like he's a radical racist, that he uses FBA kind of like, you know, Beyonce uses the Beehive and stuff like that, like to just inflame and create content and stuff like that. So he was saying nigga over and over again. You know, he said it in songs, he said it before. Me and Chef have had this conversation. That's why I wish he was here. Me and Chef had this conversation about the usage of Fat Joe and the usage of the word nigga and or African American vernacular English. I know it's AAVE. I know it's African American vernacular. I hope the E is English. Logic, if you could check that for me. How do you feel? First off, with being you in Jersey, I'm in Jersey. How do you feel about Fat Joe's usage of the word nigga? How do you feel about that?
I don't like it, but
Okay.
if he comes from an environment that word was tossed around and he feels he's been made to feel comfortable using the word, it's kind of hard to tell him not to use it. However, there's been many instances where Black people have asked him not to use it, and
okay.
Personally, I never had the opportunity to personally ask him not to use it. But for those who have, the fact that he says no, he's not going to stop using it, shows his disrespect for Black people in general. Because the majority of Black people in America don't like that word being used. That's the majority of it.
Now, let me ask you a question. Somebody else said that. Do you really believe that?
I don't believe it. Of course,
I know you said it. I know you said it.
Of course, I believe it.
I don't think you believe it, though.
Oh, I definitely believe it. You can ask anybody in your family, just anybody that's listening. Ask a family member who's not into hip hop, and ask them, do they like that word being used by other people of a different race?
Okay.
And
hey, first off, let me pause real quick. Hey, happy birthday to the birthday boy. My man hit double nickel. Jordan against the Knicks. Shout out to Chief X in the building. I guess we opening up the chat to everybody. I didn't want it opened up to everybody. Hey, if y'all could just hang out in the back. You have to once again and ELL. I don't know who that is. Shouts to Knock Measy too. He's somewhere watching. He hit me up about this last week. You gotta at least cam up one time before I allow you to get on the platform. You have to, because everybody wants to be a porn star when you don't cam up. What's up, Chief? Hey, first off, happy birthday to you, my G. 55 is I told you the Discord, 55 ain't nothing to joke around about. Hits is like 80 years old, and I don't know how, that's a blessing for him. But shouts to you for your birthday. Now go ahead and say whatever you want to say.
I appreciate the birthday shout out. How's everybody doing?
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
I'm in Vegas right now, so I'm not going to be on this stream today. But I wanted to give some clarification to a few things that I heard while I'm driving around. Right, and I got like 12% on my phone. So let me just give this real spiel, and I'm gonna hop off and give some clarity. First of all, I heard people talking about. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Well, hey, everybody else, mute your mic, because I got an echo. Everybody else, mute your mic. Go ahead, Chief. I'll put you on the front ground.
Yeah, first, I heard people were speaking on Aboriginal. That has nothing to do with it. That's the Abo movement. They don't even know. Aboriginal is a term strictly and only for original Australians. It's not for anybody else. Yeah, so we have to be clear. That has nothing to do with us. The Abo movement is misusing it. Those are a bunch of nutcases on social media talking crazy stuff. So I just want to separate that. But when you hear Aboriginal, it's a term for Aboriginal Australians or original Australians who when people left out of Africa, they landed in Australia like 25,000 years later and were isolated. They call those people Aboriginal, just for clarity. In regard, I just want to go back to the FBA and ADOS thing. I represent ADOS. And the reason Tariq Nasheed is a grifter, a fraud, and a scammer. Let's just put that out there. Okay. He stole ADOS intellectual property and tried to steal their movement for reparations. He used to be down with them and cool with them, but he's seen, hey, a light bulb came on. He's seen he can make some money and scam black folk. So he coined the term FBA, right? People should not even be using the term FBA. It's a term coined by a rapper and a former pimp who has nothing to do with politics, right? He and the reason why the black community use it, because black folk have a problem with professionals and people who are credentials. ADOS founders, one is an attorney named Tone. He's a full-blown real attorney, and the other one is what's her name?
Yvette
Carnell, who used to work on Capitol Hill. Okay. They started the movement for reparations, right? So black folk use FBA more because black folk in general, and especially in this community, always have had a problem with professionals. They dissed Yvette Carnell. Oh, she's gay. We're not listening to Yvette Carnell, right? And people gravitated toward rappers and former pimps over professional, right? We need to understand that and why people use FBA and not ADOS. ADOS was founders or professional who had a reparations movement. FBA is a movement. It's not a lineage. We're black Americans.
Stop. You're about to get me killed. So listen, I need you to at least explain that point before you please explain why it's a movement, not a lineage, because I'm telling you, I get killed every time I say it's a movement.
Right.
So explain that point.
Right. We are black Americans or African Americans. I have no problem with either. FBA is just a phrase that a former pimp came up with, that a grifter came up with. And we should disavow this man. He don't represent us in any way professional in regards to reparations movement. No one in politics would ever take Tariq Nasheed serious. So the fact that we use FBA more than ADOS says a lot about us, right? I never use FBA. I shoot it down in every time I can possibly, right? It pissed me off when people start repping FBA and not ADOS. That means you're gravitating towards the entertainer over professional people who's an attorney and a person who worked on Capitol Hill, who got together economists and done heavy work for Tariq Nasheed to grift us and steal the movement. Okay, so I don't even think we should be using the phrase FBA because it's a phrase by a grifter. It's a bad look on us even using FBA and giving power to a grifter named Tariq Nasheed, who's a fraud, in my opinion. Okay. So I just wanted to get that spill off. ADOS is a movement. Basically, it is a what is it? It's an advocacy movement. They're advocating for reparation and set asides, right? Tangibles, like the brother was saying earlier. That's what ADOS is. That's what we should. Okay, so I just wanted to say that.
All right, thank you. Hey, go enjoy your birthday. I know you turned double nickel, bro. Go enjoy your birthday. I think you
Right, I'm
in
about to
Vegas
enjoy
or
my.
whatever.
I'm about to
Enjoy
go
it, man.
to a dinner party because my girlfriend's birthday is today, actually, and she's having a dinner
Okay,
party,
wait. Shouts
and
to
that's what,
her. Shouts to her. Happy
and that's what I'm
birthday to
about to go get
her.
into.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
shout
fine.
out
I
to
appreciate
Nakia
you.
Fuller, the celebrity makeup artist Nakia Fuller, and that's my lady friend. And I'm about to
All
go
right,
in here and enjoy myself.
hey, peace to you. Enjoy
Peace
your
out.
birthday. Now I see a name in here, right? Before you start to, you say Greg Nice. Now you're not the Greg Nice, are you? Okay, because I was about to say we got a celebrity. We having a hip hop conversation, and I see the name Greg Nice. Now everybody, y'all got to keep y'all conversations, y'all comments to assure that we got a lot of people that want to speak, and I got to get the actual owners of the platform onto the panel too. Truth, just stay with us as long as you can. And I appreciate you for that first 45 minutes. And I just want to also say this. Everybody has the right to speak their speech. If you want to come on here and speak your speech, I'll stay on here as long as the last person wants to hit the link. But I don't want to how can I say this? I don't want to like just shout people down, give everybody. So please keep y'all comments to about 2 minutes. And I'm gonna start with who was here first. I'm gonna say Ack was here first. I was gonna give Greg Nice celebrity status, but that's not the actual Greg Nice. Greg Nice. What is it? David Beso. We. Yeah, I
Rock
know.
for fee, not for
Yes,
free.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of the illustrious Gangstar. That's one of my favorite songs, Dwick. But moving forward, because we are going to have a hip hop conversation later. Keep your comments to and keep it PG because we try not to curse on this channel. Go ahead, Ack. I know who that is. Go ahead, AK.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep it short, but let me address that other guy. First of
Say the
all,
name.
this whole
Say the name.
Okay, AK.
No. I know who you are. Say the name of whoever you're addressing, so I know, so I could.
I'm sorry. What was the last gentleman name?
Chief X.
Chief X. So Chief X is coming on here knocking on Tariq, and I think that's part of the problem. But one is this reparations and this lineage thing does not come from him or Yvette. Mm-hmm. Dr. Clark Anderson is the first one to do all these things. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, what I will give Yvette and Tone credit for is they revived it. But Dr. Clark Anderson was the first one to coin the lineage and coin the reparations and said Black Americans need reparations to make it. Now, I know everybody probably have their problems with Tariq, but Tariq gets stuff done. Let's look at the hip hop documentary, Microphone Check. People are trying to appropriate our culture, our set-asides. We are under a full frontal assault. We need everybody to be on deck. I don't see why the divisiveness came into play because Tariq is a heavy hitter, and Tariq is one of those dudes you really don't want to go against. And to be honest with you, I listened to Yvette and Tone. They made a mistake going against Tariq. You can't go against Tariq. Tariq does too much stuff on the grassroots level for you to even compete with Tariq. Tariq can call a meeting tomorrow, and he can have 10,000 FBAs in the room, and Yvette and Tone can't. Secondly, is that everyone else delineates. Black Americans never understood the delineation because for most of our history in this country, it's been white and black pre-1965. But what we found out is we have other groups of people coming in here speaking for us. They shouldn't be speaking for us. And Yvette, Tone, and Tariq all have different ways of going about that. And I think that it should have never went to the internet and that they should have stayed behind closed doors on that. But for this man to badmouth Tariq when Tariq has helped young men like me succeed in life, believe in ourselves, that stuff is only going to make things better between us and the ADOS group because we all freemen. It all pertains to a lineage, regardless of what someone else may think or the problems and stuff that someone else may have. And like I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to take too much time. Thank you.
I appreciate you, brother. And real quick, I've been told to do a commercial break. I hope y'all hang on. If you do, you don't. This won't be our last show. Give me 1 second.
Media innovations, we gotta wait. Took a little minute, was patient, but now we take it. Anytime we want this game, my situation is entertainment intertwined with information. Alchemist soul, how we move the tassel and roll. It's amazing how we can turn something brass to gold. And we steady making hits. Architect with the prop in the scripts. It's logical that the product will flip. My boy Chef did the lineup, I'm fresh in the bitch. Carnivorous podcast and newest show on the list. DQ on the boat, so I'm rocking the ship. Squad the music gon' be dope and the artist legit. Hold my beard, concrete cord, then stepped in the door. See, that's my man, and he reppin' for show. And true saviors a player with flavor. Lexicon Taylor, lines on point like a laser. We need that paper, we building the vault. Cause you niggas don't listen, y'all be waiting to talk. Lack accountability and try to make it our fault. But opposing us is trying to arm wrestle the hawk. You coming up short on your re-up, nigga we up. Really wouldn't want to be up. I kick my feet up, my beef is wagyu and my trunk is all speakers. Bills is all blue and my blunt is all reefer. Responsible deniability, that boy eater. High quality whack juice by the liter. They like to call us ops, we got Oppenheimer features. That's the bomb out on the island just to teach you.
All right, we back in the building. Just to let y'all know, Trap Media Innovations, we're looking for collaborators, content creators, and other channels that's looking for marketing or music. So we're all about collaborating to get to the top, not being divisive and going at each other. And there will be commercials. Shout out to Carnivorous Podcast. And hit the like button. We got 170 something people watching and 30 likes. So just take a second to hit the like button during the commercial break, or subscribe to the channel and Carnivorous Podcast and True Saviour. All right, so Axe said his piece. I appreciate that everybody dropped off when we do the commercial. That means that when business comes, everybody leaves. DQ Hampton wrote that song, by the way. Shout out to him.
Can I say something?
One of the owners. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Since a lot of the people left, let me say this.
Yeah, I appreciate. Hey, listen. I love.
I'm still here. What's up? I'm still here. I'm waiting.
Okay,
patiently. What's up?
Okay.
Wait, who is that?
Let that brother go.
Wait. Who is that? Who is that? What's your name?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm once again.
Okay, once again. Okay, we got you. Okay, cool. I'll let you go up right after this. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I didn't know if you could hear me. No doubt.
Okay, no. Okay, cool. You just sound like a friend of mine, Knockmeezy. You sound almost exactly alike him. So go ahead, Truth. I got you. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Truth.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Speaking to what Chief X says, basically what I gather from his, I wish he didn't have to go because I wanted to really ask him this question, but maybe he could hear it on the rebroadcast.
Okay.
The mere fact that he's saying the reason why we shouldn't call ourselves FBA, again, like the other brother spoke, is personal, right? Now, the same argument that he's making that we shouldn't follow this notion of FBA because of Tariq, the same argument has been made about Trump. Trump is not the perfect candidate.
Oh my
America.
Hold on, Unique.
He's not the perfect.
I'll let you go next.
He's a flawed individual, but people
Tariq
look
Nasheed.
past
Who
that.
are we talking about? Tariq Nasheed?
No. I'm
talking about Trump.
I'm using an analogy.
God.
No, I know.
Saying we should follow Tariq.
Who did you compare to Trump? Tariq Nasheed is what you said?
According to Chief X's position, we shouldn't follow Tariq because he's a grifter.
Okay.
Even though we know that he's very influential.
Okay.
And he can get a lot done, even though we know that. But he's a grifter. He's a former pimp. Oh, no, we shouldn't follow. We should only follow intellectuals, according to Chief X.
Okay.
We should just follow them. Yet we elect a president who is the most flawed individual. And what excuses do people make? They say, oh, he's God sent. He'll get things done. He's the worst of the worst, but yet he's leading our country. So everybody rejected intelligence and not only intelligent, but neglected, what's the word I'm looking for? My God. Forthrightness, honesty, all integrity. We all rejected that. And said, let's follow this grifter named Trump. I'm gonna keep it a buck. So I'm making that analogy to suggest that his personal belief about Tariq has not factored into what he's doing for the movement. And I wish he didn't do that, because it makes it about personality instead of what the movement stands for.
So is that kind of why when I was bringing up the Tariq Nasheed, the leader, then I'm gonna go to on point. When I was talking about Tariq Nasheed being a leader of some kind or the face of the lineage, then it was kind of like, because then that becomes problematic, because then now the lineage, the group, whatever you want to call it, but the lineage, I show respect. The lineage, it'll be judged based off of him, not necessarily what's trying to get done.
Exactly.
Okay, I can deal with that. On point, go ahead, G, and I'm gonna get to Greg Nice.
I thought I was next, brother.
Who is that? Isn't that you? On point? Well, I mean, once again, I'm
sorry. Okay, no doubt.
I just said your name wrong. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, it's all good. I'm gonna be as brief as possible because I'm also at work. The first thing I want to say is Chief X was 100% correct, and I'm glad he said it. The other gentleman who came on, with all due respect, like a lot of FBA, he's brainwashed by Tariq. And when I was in the comment section, I was making comments, and everybody was like, oh, you're a tether. I'm a black man, okay? My father was in the Black Panthers and in the Nation of Gods and Earths, okay? So I grew up with knowledge of self. Believe me, I understand what it's like to be a black man. But the problem is, Tariq Nasheed is a con man, and he has so many people brainwashed to think he's doing something. Let's look at that documentary, HipHop, whatever the heck he's called, okay? Cool. I've been listening to hip-hop since 1979. Okay, and there's never been a question about who started hip hop. Okay, black people always knew we started hip hop. That wasn't a secret. That wasn't an issue. Tariq made it an issue. Tariq caused all this division. And if anybody has knowledge of self and looks at the lessons, it speaks about the devil causing trouble amongst the righteous people. And that's what Tariq is doing. Tariq doesn't have any politician on board with giving black people reparations. So what is he really doing but misleading people and having us, or not us, but having FBA beef against Jamaicans and calling them tethers and worrying about people's hairline and things like that? That's not helping us. And then you got black people online talking about we're delineating. Okay, delineate. Is that going to get us better schools? Is that going to get us hospitals and things of that nature? Of course not. So it's a huge problem. And I'm for reparations. I would love for us to get reparations. But if we're believing in pipe dreams and beefing amongst ourselves, that's not going to get us reparations. And people don't understand that. Another thing in the lessons, in 120 lessons, it speaks about people are easy to be led in the wrong direction, but hard to be led in the right direction. And Tariq is leading people in the wrong direction. And as a matter of fact, Tariq was advocating for Trump. I mean, come on, and it ain't personal. And yeah, Kamala Harris was a terrible candidate, definitely. But Trump is worse. Trump wants to give police full immunity. I live in New York. The police, the COs, and I forgot the name of the prison, it escapes me. They just killed the black man. They killed this brother. You think Trump or anybody like that is going to stand up for this black man? But yet and still, Tariq, advocated for Trump. And I'm gonna say this, and then I'll fall back. If you listen to Tariq, there's been plenty of black men, FBA, that'll call in. One man in particular, he called in and was complaining about prostitution. This is what killed me with Tariq. It's why I never respect Tariq. This black man called in humble, complaining about prostitution. And Tariq said that's street business, and this man is a lame, and he needs to stay out of street business. And boom, that's what Chief X was saying. Tariq was a pimp or whatever. So you mean to tell me black women, FBA, whatever you want to call them, that's being pimped, Tariq think that's street business, and anybody who cares about that is a lame. And that's a fact. And you can, whoever doubts me and don't believe me, go do some snooping, go do some research and look it up. Tariq told this man that because he cares about prostitution, that he's a lame and that's street business. And Tariq goes, yo, come on, man. Tariq calls black men dusty. What black man is going to call another black man dusty? But yet and still, he talks about buck breaking. If we are buck broken and we are a conquered people, why would you shit on the next black man? But that's his grip. If you don't agree with everything Tariq says, his minions attack you. You're a tether. You're this. You're that. And I get so mad. I'd be willing to put my freaking address. I live in Queens, New York. I stand on what I say. Okay, I'm telling you, and I'll end it, and people can say whatever they want. Tariq is not getting us reparations, and I'll leave it at that.
I appreciate your perspective. Now I'm gonna go to Greg Nice, but I got some questions. I didn't know. I'm gonna look that up to see about him supporting Trump. By the way, I'm a conservative. I'm not a Trump supporter. I actually can't stand the man, but I'm definitely a conservative in my political beliefs.
That's peace.
Yeah, no. I always got to answer certain people. We've done a number of shows, and I've said it 1,000 times. I think Trump is very distasteful in his actions, but he is the new president.
No
I'm definitely
doubt.
I'm a conservative. I definitely a conservative, but I didn't know that Tariq Nasheed was a Trump supporter. I got to look that up. I looked that up while Greg Nice is talking.
And please also look up what I said about him supporting sex trafficking and him making light of that, because I swear to God, he said that.
Also, you brought up another point before you go, and I appreciate it because I wanted to play the video, but from what I understand, they're taking people's videos down. Before you go, I just want to make sure that everybody goes and watches this video, not just on social media. Go actually do, because I'm from Jersey, you're from New York, and it's been splashed over everything that I follow. Go and look at the correctional officers at a New York prison.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Come on, brother.
Yeah, I know you brought it up.
Oh, you're right. Not to cut you off. Yo, that's all we've been talking about, man. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, give me 1 second. So
I'm sorry.
On Robert Brooks, that man died. Rest in peace to him. On Robert Brooks, 43, who died the morning after the incident. Letitia James is going to investigate it, but he died at the Marcy Correctional Facility, State Prison in Oneida County. I'm not going to show the video because they're actually taking people's channels for showing it, but just go look up rest in power to him. Robert Brooks, that man was beaten by 12 correctional officers, and he died the morning after. So I would be remiss if I didn't just not at a glance just say it. I wanted to actually show it. And when you go watch the video, you know, up here in the tri-state area, we tend to get these things quickly, right? So it's a lot of a fervor out here about it. They've already been marching. But when you watch the video, trust and believe you are going to be furious at how they did this man who didn't get a chance to see 2025. I wasn't just going to glance past that and just let it go. But I appreciate you for bringing that up. Greg Nice, I'm going to let you get your speech.
Man, this is serious business, man.
Yep, definitely. And follow the channel, like and subscribe. I appreciate how you presented yourself. Thanks a lot.
No doubt.
Greg Nice, my man Greg Nice, with a great name. Go ahead, Greg Nice. Speak your speech, G. You're on mute, G.
Peace to the host, man. Peace to the speakers.
Yes, sir.
Peace to the brother who just spoke. I disagree with what he said, but he has a right to say it. He has an opinion.
Okay.
I'll deal with the last thing the brother said first. I don't believe Tariq is a Trump supporter. I think like the brother who just spoke earlier, the host, he's a conservative. So he spoke on some of the conservative values that the Republicans were standing for, most notably immigration.
Okay.
He said a lot. There was a lot to be said. But first of all, like, let's get this straight. FBA, Foundational Black American. That's all it means. it's a different term other than using Black American, other than using African American, and other sorts like that. Number one. So it's a lineage. So you know, that dates back to chattel slavery. So, you know, before the formation of America. So we were the first Black people here. And we are descendants of that. So to be a Black American or an African American in the terms of America, you are an FBA. If your people were here before the foundation and during that time. So, you know, and delineation was only meant for political and social separation. And it wasn't separation of, you know, I got a Jamaican friend over here and we can't be friends now because, you know, I see something different. No, it's just to put a political umbrella under a specific set of needs for those descendants of African Americans. We're the highest in this and everything terrible, medically, socially, you know, we're the highest. So we have particular needs and issues in our specific lineage, our specific people in this country, other than, you know, the diaspora. You know what I'm saying? So when we're delineating, that was the purpose of delineation, for political needs for our people that are separate from everyone else. That's it. There was no angst. There was supposed to be no trouble. But of course, you know, people are people, and people are going to do what people do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it was. And it took a whole body of itself on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? So you have, of course, you have your ignorant people, you have your unstudied people, you have people misrepresenting things. But we shouldn't let those people be the ones to dictate how things are or how they should be. You know what I'm saying? I think people are paying attention to the lesser and not the majority. A majority of people who are FBA do not talk like that, do not speak in that way, do not disrespect those from other countries. Now, is there jokes being thrown across each other? Yes. I'm on, you know, so I hear it all. You know what I'm saying? Some of the worst things I've heard has come from people from the diaspora, man. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with Jamaicans. I grew up with Puerto Ricans. I'm from Connecticut. I'm from Hartford, Connecticut.
So shouts to you. I'm out here in Jersey. Shouts to you.
So, you know, I grew up with all that. So I know what it is. But a lot of people who haven't grown up with us don't understand, you know, and this is going into the fat joke shit. I'm not, in no means.
Yeah, we about to go right into that conversation now.
In no means am I giving that man a pass for what he did or what he said. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit was egregious. It was definitely egregious. But as far as that's concerned, now with this Tariq thing, I hear a lot of issues like this on Twitter, where I have a personal problem with the brother. So whatever that brother says, everything coming out his mouth is negative. Nah. There should be meat off of them. You should take the meat, spit out the bones. If it don't apply, let it fly. We heard all these terms from our parents, grandparents, uncles, etc. So I'm not gonna take everything that man says and internalize it to make and push forward. No, there's certain things that I don't agree with the brother. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that I don't agree with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make me a follower of somebody. That makes me a discerned individual. So I gotta take what I need to take and separate what I need to separate. And that's how we need to approach certain people, certain entities, because there's dirt on everybody. Shit, X had dirt on. Is anybody gonna not follow what that brother said?
Yeah, I find it funny when they bring up that Tariq Nasheed was a pimp and all of that, because it's like I hope you be very careful, because a lot of these people backgrounds that y'all talking about, Malcolm X was once Detroit Red, so you might want to be very careful before you start putting people's stuff in the air. New York Unity, I see you've been very active in the chat. By the way, make sure y'all follow the channel. We're about 20 subscribers from 550, and I think Chef is about 30 subscribers from 750. So if y'all could take a second, subscribe to both channels. Join our Discord. We just put the link in the chat. Is pinned. Join our Discord. It is not a democracy. We don't mind a little bit of ignorance, but if you over ignorant, you'll be by yourself in the new year, not in our Discord. New York Unity, just show your mic. I mean your pause. Show your camera one time, and then we'll move, and then I'll allow you to join the platform. You can, yeah, so you can't show your camera. Yeah, I don't do that. So Truth, I know you back in the building. Greg Nice and Ack, if y'all want to stay with us, go ahead, because I want to get into this. What's the word? The Fat Joe saying nigga. Truth, before we close out on the FBA, go ahead.
Let me clear one thing up, because I heard the term, and I heard you speak on this earlier.
Okay.
The term tether. I know that shit.
Yeah, I get called that shit.
That shit brings wrong with a lot of people, but let's understand what the term tether is, and it's just gonna be a real down.
Go ahead.
It's like we got coons, right? You know how we got coons. Some people will say, Jesse Lee Peterson, for instance. Major coon. Can we all agree on that? Major coon.
Go ahead. I might got to do business with him later, but go ahead.
It's only a term used for the people of the diaspora who go against FBA, go against what we're trying to do, and play us and play like us while they're doing it. They're acting as if they're Black Americans, but they're really against us. They're really, trying to do things to undermine and dismantle what we're trying to create. That's what a tether is. It's essentially equating to what we call Black American coons. That's all it is. And not every person from the diaspora is a tether. It doesn't apply to everybody. It only applies to those who are trying to go against what we're trying to do as far as reparations and the betterment of our people in a whole. That's what a tether is. Not every person is a tether. So, so take what I'm saying.
It just gets used. It gets used so crazily. A lot of times with these conversations,
it gets tossed around.
It just gets thrown. So it's like, I've often said, when you say a word too many times, it loses all meaning. When you're just constantly saying something over and over again, over and over again, over and over again, it just means nothing at all. So I would say use it sparingly, because even people that are trying to learn about FBA, you get called a tether just for not knowing it. Like I don't know exactly things. Yeah, like, in my particular life, I don't run into this. I only run into these conversations online.
Exactly.
I never in real life, I don't have these kinds of conversations. So it's like I almost got to become a different person when I come online to defend myself, and I don't want to do that. So go ahead.
The common ground.
The common ground, perfect. Shouts to you, I am. Champagne is definitely better than ginger ale. Champagne is I don't even know how a hammer and a nail has never had a rivalry, so I don't know how champagne would ever be discussed in the same vein as ginger ale. So I'm gonna go to Truth, because I got you in the building, and we're gonna get into. If you want to close on the FBA conversation, because I got two more conversations I want to have rather quickly. The Fat Joe nigga conversation, which just sounds insane, and then I'm gonna close on the hip hop conversation. So if you want to say anything, Truth, I mean, you are our guest. If you want to say anything, Truth, to close on the FBA conversation, that's cool. And then I'll go into the Fat Joe conversation.
I just want to follow up what the last brother was just saying. We cannot allow personalities to distract us from the overall goal. Now, I'm a realist. Do I actually?
Oh man, say that again.
I'm a realist.
Say that again.
I'm a realist. Do I actually believe that Black Americans are going to get reparations? Possibly not. And the reason why, you need allies to make that happen. You need friends in Congress to make that happen. From what I can see, Nobody likes Black Americans. No one is going to ally with us to make sure that happens. Now, but it's bigger than that. I'm not into being an FBA because I'm thinking I'm gonna get reparations. It's about protecting this lineage from individuals who are trying to cosplay us, like the brother was saying, trying to cosplay us and then do things to cause damage to us. This is what we're trying to prevent. And so we're just now calling these people out. We're just saying, hey, we're not going to allow you to cosplay us and work behind the scenes to try to make things difficult for us. And this is for me, this is what it's all about. My channel is based on that music and the culture of hip hop and all those aspects, identifying the cosplayers who are trying to appropriate Black American culture and call them out on it and remind them where it comes from. And so that's part of delineation. When you're saying, hey, you're not a part of this creation thing. This music was created by this particular group of people. I'm not going to allow you to claim it.
Right.
Unless you prove that you helped create it. And so that's what my channel is dedicated to. So in terms of my channel is more based on, in terms of FBA, is protecting, gatekeeping Black American culture. So that's how I move on my channel under the FBA, what I call not logo, but framework.
Mic drop that shit. Boom, mic drop.
Drops every 2 seconds. If I can mic drop. All right, so here we go. Now, I did not want to have this conversation. I'm sick of this conversation. It's an irritating conversation. Hit the link if you want to have the conversation. But I think it needs to be said because there's a clear issue with apparently the entire African American population has a problem with Fat Joe saying nigga. And I find it problematic. I don't like to give my own opinions on these shows, but I find it very problematic and hypocritical and selective outrage that when I hear people say they have an issue with it. And I want to hear other points of view before I give mine. So, Truth Savior, do you have a issue with Joey Crack, Joseph Cartagena, saying the word nigga in everyday conversation? Do you have an issue with that?
Well, like I think I said it before. I personally do. Yes, I personally do.
Okay.
But if Joey Crack is saying that he grew up and that word was used constantly around him, I know it's difficult for him to let it go. But I'm of the opinion, if Black people come to you and say, Joey, listen, man, I know you grew up like that. But we do find that offensive. And then when he hears that, and his response is saying, I'm not going to give up saying the word. F those brothers and sisters. I'm going to continue to use it, even though we said, Joe, come on, man. I get it. I mean, that's part of what you grew up. I get it. But we respectfully ask you not to use it. So that's the problem I have with Joey, is that he will not honor the call to not use it from the majority of Black Americans. Like I said before, the majority of Black Americans don't like when other people outside the race use the word. Personally, I prefer that no one use the word. But if anybody should use the word, it should be people in our community, not people outside the community.
Okay. How do you feel about that act, if you're still here?
Hey, so yeah, like I don't like it. And this is the main reason I'm going to explain to you. I do understand the nuances that he grew up in New York, right? And it's different. However, most Black Americans are not in New York. And this is what we're talking about when we're discussing cultural penetration, meaning that Fat Joe believes just because he could subject Black Americans to that word in New York, he believes that he can subject the other 95% to that word, including my mother and my father and other people in my family who do not use it. I would bet that the average Black American, and I don't know if I can say he's around like the younger generation, but the average Black American would not use that word around Big Mama. That's called cultural nuance. Fat Joe will use that word around my grandmother. Plus, Fat Joe is already on record, according to Raheem, calling black men monkeys. So when you start to give people cultural passes like this creates the problem not only with the N-word, but also with him saying that hip hop is 50-50. So this is a constant behavior from Joe, and Joe has gotten so comfortable that he feels like he can appropriate everything from our culture. And this is the reason why I tell everybody this. Check out Truth Savior's channel. And Truth, please get your Cash App right, because I'll be trying to send you money, brother, to support you. I really appreciate you putting on for the culture. But Truth Savior channel goes into this cultural appropriation. Ask him. He did one on jazz, right? Truth, hip hop, right? It's people around the world who are trying to take from us, and this is what you're seeing with the FBA movement. And Black Americans are recognizing these things, and we're just saying no more disrespect, and we're just cutting it short. And that's it, man. Thanks for letting me talk.
Appreciate you, Greg Nice. You got anything on the topic?
Yeah, this is.
And where my Tri-Media brothers at? Where DQ, Hits, Logic? I want to hear what y'all got to say. I've given up trying to get. I know we live. Chef got about 90 people live on his channel. He does this all the time. It's hilarious at this point. But listen, I know if you're on Carnivorous podcast, we just waiting on Corey Chef to come up. Chief X came up earlier. It's Sunday. They're a little busy. These is hardworking men. These are fathers. So I know if you're on Carnivorous podcast and you're looking for Chef and Corey, we're working feverishly behind the scenes to get them to somehow come onto their own platform at this point. But I know Chef's gonna say, y'all got a good show going, just let it cook. I already know it. Now we support white people. They gonna kill us, Hits. But
no, I don't think so.
More white people on the FBA show. You just killing me, Hits.
Moving on.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, Greg Nice.
Yeah, peace to that.
D-Mac, what up? What up, GD Mac? What up? I said GD Mac. That's it. What up,
I'm here, yo. You keep telling me not to be combative and stuff. So
we at the combat. We are at the combative point. If I light a cigar, an expensive one, we are at the combative point of the show. So
because I want to add on to that Fat Joe comment.
Go ahead.
Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna let Greg Nice go. I'm gonna let Logic go, and in truth, because your name is in the title, at any point if you want to speak or rebut or say anything, just tell me and I'll put you center stage, bro.
All right.
You don't have to. That's the accommodation you get at all times. Go ahead, Greg Nice. And I ask that y'all keep these short so we can have a rapid fire conversation. The link is in the chat, so if you want to come up and speak, and our Discord link is also in the chat. If you want to join our Discord, the Tri-Media Discord. Go ahead, Greg Nice.
Peace. I coined this phrase personally, man. You could use it if you want to. I call it the benefit of black without the burden of black. That's Fat Joe.
I like that.
That's Fat
I like
Joe
that.
in a nutshell.
I like that.
I
like that a lot.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's that. My grandmother used to say they want all our rhythm and none of the blues.
None of the blues. There you go.
That's what my grandmother used to tell me all the time.
We just fixed it. And,
yes, sir.
That's what I call this. You want the benefit of being black without the burden of being black. You don't have the weight of that word on your back like we do. So when we hear that, it's a natural reflex to be like, what the fuck? Like, because I grew up with Puerto Ricans. I'm sure they probably used it amongst themselves, but they never used it in presence of black people. Never. I've never heard none of my Puerto Rican friends. I'm 51 years old. I've known these dudes since first grade. Never heard them use it. But I did. I've been to Miami, right? Story, quick. 2 little Puerto Rican dudes, Spanish, whatever. I don't know what they was. They were Spanish. They in the sneaker store. Old earth and the old knowledge right there. I mean, grandmother and grandfather. I didn't know them. They was black. These 2 dudes, yo, my nigga, yo, these nigga, the N-word flying everywhere. I seen other cringe up. Something in my spirit, bro. had me grab them two brothers like, hey, did you not use that word? These elders back here, they don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that. But I understand it. I get it. You know, you grew up, you know, music, TV, all that word just hitting you subconsciously. You think it's cool. So with Joe, you know, amongst the brothers, you and I having a conversation, yo, my nigga, it just comes natural because he's in that environment, like Brother Truth said. But at some point, like you said, the nuance has to kick in. You have to know the nuance. If you're amongst our people like you claim, then you should understand the nuance. I've never used the N-word, let alone a swear word in front of my grandma. Never.
Facts.
I'm one.
Yeah, I can tell you I've never done it because I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm still here to do the show with you today. That's how I can tell you I've never done it. Arthur Ward, you got to cam up at least once. You got Arthur Ward, you got to cam up at least once before I add you to the stage. Okay, I got you. Shout out to Knock Measy too, bro. Wherever you at, shout out to Knock Measy. Danny Giles, you got to cam up at least once in order for me to let y'all to the stage. And hopefully y'all stay cammed up. Why y'all hiding, bro?
I'm at work, brother. That's why I gotta be stealthy.
Okay, no problem. Hey, I got a question for y'all, right? And Truth, I'm gonna allow you to answer first, then I'm gonna go to Logic. Do y'all not find it hypocritical that we're constantly calling each other nigga? Maybe you don't use the word. Maybe you don't use it on the panel, or maybe you don't use it in the chat. But don't you find it, I'm gonna use two hypocritical statements. Don't y'all find it somewhat hypocritical that we use the word nigga constantly in media, using it to each other in public, and then also, and I brought up this point and people didn't really understand where I was coming from. I got 100 guns, 100 clips, nigga. Whoever that is, mute your mic. I got whoever is cleaning out the attic, mute your mic. I got 100 guns, 100 clips, nigga. I'm from New York, New York. This is what I mean by selective outrage. Lean back in New York, New York with Ja Rule and I think it's Jadakiss, right? He says nigga probably like 10 times on each song. Nobody said anything. Nobody made, well, not gonna say nobody. It didn't become such a big deal. And people sing along to the song. So it seems like, you know, I try to pay attention for selective outrage. Truth, speak to that, and then I'm gonna let Logic speak. Hey, Greg Nice, join our Discord, right? Please subscribe to both channels, Carnivorous Podcast. I love your demeanor, and I appreciate your perspective. Go, and the Discord link is in the chat, and the subscribe button obviously is right there. Go ahead, Truth, speak to that statement that I just made to those two questions, and then Logic, I'm gonna give you free. As president of Tribe Media, I'm gonna give you free whatever you want to say. Go ahead, Truth.
Well, of course it's hypocritical, but we're only talking about it. We're only talking about a small minority of Black Americans. And what happens is we allow the media to define Black Americans by this small portion of us, basically the hip hop crowd, basically young people who use that word all the time. And unfortunately, it's put out there and the media makes it appear and says, we all use the word and we're all comfortable using the word. I don't even travel in circles that use that word. I never used that word in my life.
Right.
I just don't believe in it. And maybe because I'm old school, I'm from, I'm 64 years old. I mean, I know I was alive.
Can I hit you with the Kevin Hart?
Yeah, I know. Damn. Yeah, I know the word meant something back when I was, it had a different meaning.
I could dig that. I
grew up at a time when that word
I could dig that.
Had a different meaning. You see what I'm saying? That. So I don't like it that they use the word, but let's be real. We're talking about a small percentage of people that are using the word, and the media, the powers that be, are highlighting, is putting it in our face to make it appear that this is a bigger issue amongst Black Americans. Most Black Americans are not using that word.
Okay, Logic, go ahead. And we got the man of the hour. I gotta let Chef get in there. But well, I'm gonna let Logic get in there first. Arthur, you've been patiently waiting. I'm gonna let you speak. And then Chef, bro, I appreciate my business partner. We're literally 138 on our channel. At one point we were 140 on Carnivorous podcast. So I appreciate it. We're live on both channels. I'm gonna let the CEO of Carnivorous podcast speak. Logic, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, man. I've been nice and patient. You know what I'm saying?
Your background is crazy. Your background. My
background's crazy.
Yeah.
1 second.
Go ahead, Logic. What's up, Logic?
Go ahead,
Yo, I ain't heard from you in a minute.
Logic out there with Kanye.
Oh Lord.
He gonna fix his background. Go ahead, Chef. I'm gonna let then Logic come back in when you get your background together. Go ahead, Chef. First, talk to the people. Tell them who you are, and then go in.
All right, hold on. Let me switch my camera then.
We can't see you either way.
Why?
Your camera's not on.
Oh no, I said that's why I was going to fix it.
Okay, go ahead.
Give me a second. Go ahead. No, I like what the brother who was just talking, said. Like, I agree with him 100%. You know, we got to stop acting like all black people use it. So other people can use it and be disrespectful with it because they only using it amongst a certain demographic of black people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's only a certain demographic of black people that don't find that offensive coming from another group of people. It's like we said the other night, it's some black people, it's even some black people that is offended by that word. So y'all could never take the essence of the offensive nature of that word. Y'all can never take that away. I don't care how much we think we can use it in a more benevolent way. There's no way for us. We haven't been able to take the offensive nature off of that word yet. You know what I mean? And I don't care how often we use it in other type of ways, right? It can always switch over to the other one at the drop of a dime. And we know this. So no other group, if I can sit here and say that we shouldn't even be using it, there's no way that y'all can justify that a white Puerto Rican should be using it. If I
what
can
is a
say
white Puerto Rican?
Fat Joe.
Okay, go ahead.
Fat Joe, that's what we talking about, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
He's Cuban. He's half Cuban.
No. Hey, we don't cut. We're not gonna cut nobody off.
The white, half Puerto Rican, half Cuban. Is that better? You feel me?
Go ahead and speak your speech. He'll have his chance to speak.
Right. So if we can if black people feel as though that word is not acceptable in every setting, and we check our own people on it, like the brother was just saying before me. I've been checked by black people for using the word nigga. And I bet you all of y'all on this panel been checked by other black people for using the word nigga. So how could y'all then justify a white Cuban using it? Baffles my mind. You feel me? And what else did y'all talk about? Because I just got here. Okay.
We were talking about FBA and its beginnings, the lineage aspect, how it is a lineage, not a movement. Truth was giving us some background on FBA, Foundational Black Americans, for those who don't know. We had a nice long conversation about it. Chief X joined the conversation. You know, he's celebrating being 85. He in Vegas celebrating his birthday. So shout out to him. 85 years is a long time to be on this earth. So that's not
shout
to be joked
Chief X,
about.
Happy birthday, Chief X.
Yeah, 85 years old is nasty work. He got on. He called Tariq Nasheed a pimp, a grifter, and a con man, and that he stole FBA from ADOS. That will literally be my next show. looking into that. I want to have a conversation about that.
But for me, hold on, that's fine, right? Because Jesse Jackson was the one that pushed for being called African American. Now, is all black people in America saying that they gotta agree with everything Jesse Jackson have done, right? And agree with his religion, his politics? We don't have to do, if he presents something, right, that is sound and sane, right? Why would we go against it just because we disagree with other things that he did in his life? So that's like saying that because I sell drugs, you can't listen to me when I tell kids to go to school and get an education. What did I say wrong to the kids? Do you say, don't listen to him? That's not right what he said because he a drug dealer. You'd be like, that drug dealing bastard actually got that part right. You feel me?
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? So, Tariq Nasheed is a hustler. He's a pimp. That hustling, pimping, scamming motherfucker got that part right.
Language.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Well, he got that part right. Now, you can go off in the corner and disagree with him about everything else. You dig what I'm saying? But we can acknowledge that that's something that we foundational. If it's a spinoff from, if you saying it's the same in terminology as ADOS, and ADOS means the fuck do it mean?
You watch your language.
Foundational Black Americans, and his is in the background, so
foundational. No, it means what do ADOS mean again?
American descendants of slavery.
The American descendants of slavery. And if foundational Black American can be equated to the same as that, which can be equated to African American, then why are we arguing with, because Tariq Nasheed said it?
Yeah.
Right? Are we foundational Black Americans? Are we the foundational Black population of America? And we are a non-immigrant Black population, because there's other Black people in America, right? We're saying that we are the foundational Black Americans, non-immigrant. You feel me? So why would you disagree with that? Because Tariq Nasheed is a pimp? It's crazy.
Malcolm X's name was once Detroit
My background
Red, so you better
still
be careful. No, your background is good. I'm gonna go to you, Logic, and then I'm gonna go to American Dream. Chef, stay a while. And turn your camera on. Your channel wants to see your channel wants to see you. DeMarcus, you got to at least cam up once in the background. No, we can't see you. You still see that beautiful logo. Okay, I can see you, DeMarcus. That's a great Black name. I appreciate you, DeMarcus Coleman. Go ahead, Logic.
Right. So I've heard the conversations go back and forth about the ADOS, about the FBA, and I'm really hearing like I'm hearing just like something that Black people do still kind of like to make themselves feel better, because it doesn't really get you any closer to accomplishing anything just because now you've got this delineation, right? And the craziest part about
question. I'm not gonna let you just go right over that. No, listen. I'm just here to make sure that your message gets across. That's my job as the host. I don't want you to just say something profound and then just go on to a whole bunch of other stuff. You just said, and I quote, the name FBA is just something to make Black people feel better, is what you just said?
Excuse me?
Right, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah. We're talking about coping at this point. But
okay.
Yeah, I think in to some degree that there's some necessity for that, right? But I think that once we like kind of like fool ourselves to thinking it's actually accomplishing anything, like, so now that you've established who deserves to be called Black in America, like, how is that getting you any closer to accomplishing any one of the goals? And I keep primarily hearing the goal being reparations, right? So I'm trying to figure out if that was the big missing piece. Why hasn't the establishment of ADOS or FBA been like, the cog in the wheel to finally get that ball rolling? Like that's what I mean by it doesn't accomplish anything. You know, we're having a, you know, before we get into other conversations about what Fat Joe said, you know, I guess I could just give my opinion on it because I don't think that's really that big of a deal, right? I don't think that diminishes black people at all to let Fat Joe or so for Fat Joe to have said he grew up calling his friends the N word and his friends called him the N word back. Like that might just be Fat Joe's reality. But go ahead.
I want you to go a little bit further into before I go into American Dream. Shouts to you, my brother, and join his Discord also. I know it's popping over there. Our Discord link is pinned. I want you to explain a little bit more about what you mean when you say FBA ADOS is just a name to make black people feel better. Could you expound on that?
Right.
I just want to go ahead and get you all the way killed.
No, I got you. The reality of it is that the African Americans' social and economic circumstances are, for all intents and purposes, you know, rather overwhelming, right? Like it can be overwhelming trying to contemplate how you can fix all of the social and economic problems that we have as black people here in America, right? Like I think that is an unfortunate part of being black in America, right? Like you do have unnecessary obstacles that you have to overcome. You know, the other team gets a head start, you know, just from birth and all those kind of things. It's real, right? And it could be overwhelming if that's all you zoom in on is the problems. And when you have people who are like willing to claim they have these solutions that almost in some way like max themselves in shortcuts, right? All we gotta do is learn what the ancients learned. All we gotta do is separate who's black and who's not. Like that's that's an exercise that really just gives you confidence. I heard AK say something about Tariq Nasheed make him feel better about being a black man or so he said something of that nature, right? And I would agree, right? It probably does make you feel like our problem is it's easier to solve than you have been led to believe. And like one of the things that you need to initially accomplish is you need to decide who deserves to be called black and who doesn't, right? So that's what I mean when I'm saying it's not really accomplishing anything.
Okay. All right, no problem. American Dream, I'm gonna let you get in there. Pause, please, and then I know you're itching to say something. Truth, just give you 1 second. American Dream, I just want to let these people speak on the panel. Then I'm gonna go to DeMarcus, and then I'm gonna go to once again, and then Truth. So I just want to stand on. So go ahead, Dream. I ain't gonna cut your wisdom. Go ahead, Dream.
Peace. Thanks.
Peace to you.
I just wanted to, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Peace. Thanks for trying media. You know, I just wanted to speak a little bit about, you know, the issue of lineage.
Okay.
You know, because people are saying FBA is a lineage as if the idea of lineage is something new. You know, even when, you know, when we're just black people, the idea of black people also is about lineage. You know, if we slaves were mainly taken, a lot of slaves were taken to the Caribbean, for example, and then from the Caribbean they were sold into Northern America, right? So it's very possible that a lot of families were broken up. Some of us ended up in the Caribbean, some of us ended up here, but we were family, like blood family, a lineage. And that's why we all said we were all one people, because our families were just broken up. What FBA is doing, though, is saying that lineage doesn't matter anymore. The more important lineage is who ended up in North America. And that's just silly. It's more likely that you have family lineage with someone in the Caribbean. As an FBA person, you can more likely have a familial lineage with someone in the Caribbean than with some other FBA. You know what I'm saying? And that's
where you're going.
And so they're really sacrificing family lineage for some other nonsense about who ended up here that you're not even related to. And it's just so silly. And they're sacrificing all of that. They're sacrificing the big picture, the big family picture, where Black people used to say, we're all one family who was just broken up. And that's a fact. They literally intentionally broke up families and sent some over there and some over there. And that's why we all say we're all one people. But now FBA is doing this. And why are they doing this? Why are they creating, and the linchpin they're hatching their thing on is this thing about lineage. That's what people are confused about, I think. Because I think it's a confusion. Because it only says your lineage comes to North America. You were a slave in North America. But the slaves you were around, none of them could have been your lineage. None of them were your family. You more likely had family in Barbados, Jamaica. So it's just so crazy to me.
About that though, Dream.
I am a little bit passionate about this, so y'all gotta bear with me.
It's good because I'm passionate too. But let me say this: so I can agree that we were mixed up. That a lot of us came, from the Caribbean. You dig what I'm saying? Because that's where most of the slave ports was at. And those same plantation planters had farms and stuff on the mainland. So a lot of us did come from the Caribbean. That's fine. You feel me? But what we're saying is that you are still a Jamaican. You get that? The Puerto Rican is still the Puerto Rican, right? We know we got all mixed up, but we're saying that we're not Jamaican, nor we're Puerto Rican. Even though we're all Black, we are American, meaning our lineage is from here. If you are
Let him finish his point, Dream. I'll let you get right back in there. Let him finish his point.
And by you being an immigrant, do you think I'm denying that we're probably connected family? Or somewhere down the line in 1700, you know what I mean? We could be connected, but I'm not denying none of that.
Then why are you calling it lineage?
Stop interrupting.
Because our lineage is from here, just like your lineage. Why would you call yourself a Jamaican then? Why are you an immigrant here?
I called myself Jamaican because I lived in Jamaica. I call myself Jamaican because I lived in Jamaica. That's where I was born and raised. That's why I call myself a Jamaican. Now I'm in America and I'm raising kids in America. I'm an American now. My children are American. That has nothing to do with lineage. It has to do with where I'm at.
But you're not foundational Black American. You are an immigrant. Is immigrant a bad word?
I know everybody knows that. So what's the point?
We're not immigrants.
You're acting as if our immigrants
here. Why you denying that? So
say what now?
You're saying there's no difference between me and you.
There isn't.
Jesus Christ.
What's the difference, Chef?
All right, so I want you to tell Puerto Ricans the same thing. I want you to tell every person from the Caribbean who claim where the fuck they from, there is no difference. You know what I mean? You're not really Puerto Rican. We're just all Black people. You go ahead and run with that, bro. That's crazy. Because I would never deny that you're a damn Jamaican. I would never take that away from you. So you're telling me we can't say that we are foundational Black Americans?
Hold on. You think when I said, hold on, Chef, you think when I said we're all one people, I meant we're all Jamaicans?
I gotta be.
It cannot be, Chef Reen. That's silly. You can't really think that's what I meant. If you think that's what I meant, you're ridiculous, Chef Reen.
No, you're
sorry, Chef Reen.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
It's the we are Black syndrome.
Why do you think?
Mute your mic.
Everybody, hey, listen, everybody. This is a Tri-Media Truth Saviour Carnivorous podcast show.
I'm muting out.
I am. No, you ain't got to mute. I want to make something clear though. We're live on Carnivorous Podcast. We're live on Tri-Media. I will allow Chef to interrupt. I'll allow Truth to interrupt or somebody from Tri-Media. But Dream, let him say what he gonna say, and I'm gonna literally give you your platform. And I want to applaud you on something before we move forward. I don't know where the actual American dream is from 2024, but this dream, I actually appreciate. You've been cooking on a few shows lately. I appreciate it. Let him get his thought out, and then I'm gonna let you talk because this dream I can appreciate.
I cook
Just
everywhere I go. I'm the real
I know,
chef.
That's cool. That's cool. Oh
I
God,
cook
that's
everywhere.
a bar.
I'm the real chef.
That is a bar.
Get the fuck out of here!
When you call him Chef Freed instead of Chef or Chef Freed, I love it. But listen, let him say his piece because this is his channel also. This is his show. Let him say his piece.
I like the back and forth. Like I
Okay,
don't
no
have
problem, no
but,
problem. And then don't forget
yeah,
Truth
yeah.
at any point, Logic, if y'all want to say something.
Let me know.
But I want to
let me know when
hold
I can
on.
say something.
Yeah, I want to let Arthur see he left. I apologize, Arthur, if you want to come back. And then Johnny, 2 times, you gotta at least cam up 1 time so I can see you. Because people like to porn bomb and all that madness. Okay, cool. And if y'all I don't know why y'all be hiding, just cam up, bro. If you just cam up so we can see your face. I don't like talking to
Nah, I gotta crack over my camera thing, so it's
we
that's why
can see you just
that's
fine.
why it's blurry like that.
No, that's fine, bro. It just look like you and Snoop in the same room.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all
like,
broke it up. It's all good.
And if
G.
they smoking, they can keep their camera off though. A lot of people smoking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you are smoking and stuff besides me, because this is a very expensive cigar, and we are at the ignorant point of the show, and it's the only way that I can deal with this conscious community conversation because I really
was rude.
So moving forward, and y'all can take that. I stand on that. So Dream, go ahead, take 2 minutes, close, so I can move on to the next people. Go ahead, Dream.
You know, what I will also say is that when white folks called black people niggas, their intention in calling us niggas was worse than FBA's intention in calling us tether. And so if black Americans can use nigga as a term of endearment, I can use tether as a term of endearment. If y'all can be niggas, I'll be a tether. But what I'm telling you is this lineage thing, and you know, I just want to just summarize what I'm saying.
Real quick.
The lineage thing, you're actually giving up familial lineage, real lineage, and I think y'all are being tricked with this lineage word, but you're actually giving up a connection with people that you could actually be related to, right? From the exact same tribe as people in the Caribbean. You, Chef Green, could have family in real family in the Caribbean. You just don't know it. And you're cutting off that tie for what? For reparations money, for free money, for a free bag. And that's kind of shameful. It actually is kind of shameful.
Yes, I'm gonna let you get in right
y'all are denying your familial lineage for a bag. It's a shame, and FBA should be ashamed of themselves.
Wait a minute.
Lord, you trying to get all the way killed. Okay, cool. Go ahead, True Saviour, and then Chef. Okay. And then Logic, wherever you at, definitely come back in. Go ahead, True.
Is the Dream still here? Okay.
Yes.
I want to ask
please,
him a
let's
question.
not give him a wrestling name.
Okay. No. I'm gonna ask him a question. A quick question.
Go ahead.
When CARICOM was created, did the islands offer the idea of reparations for their brothers and sisters in America? I don't think so. So we let you guys have your CARICOM, and you're entitled. If you get reparations from Britain for the hell they put your people through, God bless you. So what we're talking about over here in America, we want the reparations for our people. Okay, that's our lineage. The people in America is our lineage. They're not in the Caribbean, because if they were in the Caribbean, let me say it. If they were in the Caribbean, you will be advocating for us. There was nobody in CARICOM advocating for their brothers and sisters in America. They could care less what was going on in America. They was concerned about them. So don't give me this family crap, because let me tell you something. When the master had us in America, they tore families away. There was no such thing as family. And this is where the concept of brothers and sisters came from. You notice why Black Americans use that term, brothers and sisters? Because we didn't know who was our brothers and sisters at a point in time.
You're making my point.
And so we hold up, let me finish. So we refer to each other because we were broken up in America. So we're talking about that lineage. So until my issue for you is this: until CARICOM says,
but isn't that true about Black Americans? Isn't that true about Caribbeans as well?
Let me say this: when CARICOM says we're repping Black Americans for reparations, we're fighting for them too. When they can make that claim, I don't want to hear nothing about brothers and sisters in the Caribbean. We got to take care of our people here in America. That's what the lineage means. Us in America, chattel slavery in America. That's who we're looking out for. It's not complicated. And we're not trying to say we're not related to nobody in the Caribbean, but we're talking about a lineage in America. I don't know if that's going to get through, possibly not. And I want to say one thing about Logic. FBA is not about determining who's black. I don't know where you got that from. It's a lineage, brother. People tied to chattel slavery. It's really simple. Jamaicans are black. Haitians are black. I would never say that those people weren't black. So we're not making that determination. We're talking about people who are descendants of chattel slavery. Those are the black people we're talking about. So I don't understand this confusion that you can't grasp that. I'm done.
Can I respond real quick?
Respond. Hey, 90
just
seconds
real quick, please.
Hits is asking me to play a commercial. Go ahead, 90 seconds, and I got to play this commercial, and then I'm gonna get all the new people that joined the panel to give them 2 minutes to speak. Go ahead, Drink.
I totally agree that the reason Black Americans call each other brothers and sisters is because their families were broken up. But that's the exact same reason why African Americans and Caribbeans and everybody else in the diaspora are brothers and sisters, because we were all broken up. You're no more brothers and sisters with your FBA people that are close to you. You are to the ones that ended up in the Caribbean. Like I said before, you could be actually real brothers with people in the Caribbean, like real brothers, but it's the same thing. You're just cutting off. You've just decided that your brothers and sisters over there don't count. And for one reason and one reason only,
don't cut them off.
reparations money.
You're not getting it.
For one reason and only, reparations money, and that's shameful.
And what's wrong with that?
Go ahead and play. Hold on. Go ahead, Truth. And then Hits. Go ahead and play the commercial. I got Hits in the background. This is still a business. I got to play the Carnivorous, Truth, Saviour, Tri-Media commercial. This is still a business. Like and subscribe. When we play the commercial, if you leave, that's your choice. But if you like and subscribe to both channels or all three or I Am's channel, all of these different channels that we can grow as a community, don't look at the commercial and say, it's time for me to go. This is supposed to be a 30-minute show, but when you got 200 people watching the show, I can't just cut it. But there is still business that has to be had. We've been up here for 2 hours. So Hits, I'm gonna let Truth respond, and as soon as he's done, Hits, just run the commercial. Go ahead, Truth Saviour.
Well, the brother just pretty much revealed his problem with FBA. It's about money. He feels that. Let me say something to help you out. It's unlikely that Black Americans are going to get reparations. It's just unlikely. So I need you to put that aside and just deal with the issues that we're talking about. We're talking about us here in America, taking care of the Black folks who built this country in America. Will that come in form of reparations? I don't know. But I don't want you to get hung up on that reparations thing, because like I said, CARICOM is doing the same thing. So tell CARICOM to give up the reparations, and maybe we can have a conversation.
Go ahead.
I've already told CARICOM.
Tri-Media Records.
This is my story. Get the story.
On your ID, you see me calling, nigga. Out of this league, a workaholic, nigga. Nickname, Big Jane, big thing. Handle his business, he never switched lanes. Had some brain surgeries in high school. Still came out that bitch a top dude. Moved to the city of the Mavericks. Came out this bitch drunk and classy.
That's my man DQ Hampton, owner of Tri-Media and Tri-Media Records. I want to get the newer people to speak. I'm going to play some DQ music to close the show. We're going to be here for about another hour and a half. So trust me, y'all got time. Join the Discords. Chef, we got the link to your Discord. Join Tri-Media Discord and subscribe to both channels. And then I'm going to go down the line with everybody new on the panel. I'm going to start with Johnny 2 times. Then I'm going to go once again, Ack, and then Greg Nice, and we're going to get back into it. Go ahead, Johnny 2 times. I'm not even going to cut your wisdom. Go ahead, brother.
Can y'all hear me? Yo.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Too loud? We good? Mic check.
Nope, we good. G, go ahead.
All right. So I'm like you, OG. I was taught to when you on these podcasts, you got to write stuff down. Some people are long winded. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But somebody said earlier that FBA was just a name to make us feel better, bro.
Yeah, Logic said that. And he's on here. I'll let him respond if he wants to respond.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But you have to have that pride, and we didn't have that pride, and it's making us all feel better. And that's the only thing that separated us from every other racial group in the world. We didn't have that pride. That pride, you could come to us and tell us anything about ourselves, and we would go for it in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. Well, yeah, the 70s on up. You feel me? So what's happening is we getting back to that, if you will, so-called black power, black pride thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to separate. I mean, not separate. That's going to stop a lot of the issues that we have with our relationships with the black on black crime, because we are going to look at each other like, oh shit. Oh shoot, this is my brother. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So yeah, we need to have that pride. You know what I mean? And then it's saying that somebody said that that we were doing it for the bag. Like you said, big dog, we're not going to get reparations, bro. Even if they either talking about money, you know what I'm saying, or they talking about land. If they give just as FBAs the land that we're owed, the 40 acres, they're going to have to give up half of the country. And that's not going to happen. Like, if you actually do the math, all you got to do for the people that's watching, all you got to do, figure out how many FBAs there are, and then figure out how much land that is, and then multiply that times 40. They're not going to give us that land, bro. You see what I'm saying? So my question is to go away from the script. Now I got a question. I'm responding to was it Truth? The little the homie that was Jamaican homie?
That's American Dream.
Dream. My mistake.
Okay.
So my question is, why does it matter what we call ourselves? And why does it matter if we differentiate ourselves from everybody else? Because everybody could give excuses and we can all respond to everything that you're saying word for word. But let's be real. I don't want to do that. I'm going to keep it funky. I'm a man like you a man. Let's be real. Let's work in logic. We tried that family stuff. We tried that everybody's black stuff since y'all started coming over here. And Jamaicans said, no, we're not black. Haitians said, no, we're not black. Puerto Ricans said, no, we're not black. Africans said, no, we're not. Everybody said, no, we're not black. And then FBA starts saying, okay, cool. We're not black. Y'all ain't black? Fine. We're just black. Now it's like, oh, no, wait a minute. We were just playing. No. Stand on that. You feel me? And then my next question is, what are y'all losing if FBAs start back saying,
I didn't get the first question. I didn't get the first question. What was my question?
My question is, why is it that it was cool at first for y'all to differentiate from us, and now that we're like, okay, cool, let's be different? Why is it a problem now?
All right, answer that question real shortly, Dream, because I want to get to these other people. Go ahead, bro. And I'll go right back to you for your second question, Johnny.
Okay. I'm not sure when it was never cool for y'all to differentiate from us. Like, y'all have always been, like you just said, Jamaicans said they didn't want to be black, so apparently they wanted to differentiate. Jamaicans have always wanted to differentiate. Everybody wants to differentiate. They've always differentiated. There have been African Americans, Jamaican Americans, and people have accepted that. But what connected us was the fact that we were all black. But now FBA.
No. Hold on. I'm gonna let you finish. Let me just finish my sentence. Hold on. Because that's not true, bro. But go ahead.
Let me finish my sentence, though. Let me just finish my sentence. We all understood that we were one through just being black. But now FBA comes along and said they're the only ones that are black, and they're the only, and it's only their lineage that matters. Like, they have their own lineage. Like, that's the thing. FBA thinks they have their own separate lineage, and that's false. That's a lie.
That's why I wanted to interrupt you, because I knew you were going to keep going. slow down. What you said was the only thing that made us all the same was black. That's not true. The only thing that made us all the same was black people saying that we were the same. Nobody else, even us, even our skin color being the same color, that's like a Japanese person and a Chinese person, or a Mexican and a Puerto Rican. The skin color, this is to y'all. This is coming from y'all. Africans, Haitians, Jamaicans, Trinidadians. Everybody was saying, nah, we're different. It had nothing to do with being African American, because even though we were still called African American, we were still saying that everybody was still black and we were all the same. Everybody that we were including was saying, nah, we good on y'all.
So which Caribbeans are saying they're not black anymore?
Yeah, I don't want to get into the.
No, but he just said Jamaicans and Caribbeans don't want to be black anymore. Which Caribbeans and Jamaicans don't want to be black anymore? Where are you getting that from? Sounds like you're just making that up.
No, I'm not making that up. No, we're not talking about the word black. We're not talking about the word black. We're talking about the word the same. We're talking about the word same. Y'all always made it.
You're making that up, bro.
Bro, come on, bro.
Don't
come
cut him
on,
off,
bro.
man. Let him finish.
Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, Johnny. No, I'm talking to you, Johnny. Go ahead.
No, because I'm talking to him directly, so I got to give him time to rebuttal. So I can't be rude.
Well, what's your second question? Before you go ask your second question, and then we'll go to Dream, and then I got to move along the panel. The Chef hasn't spoken in a while. Logic hasn't spoken. The people whose names are in the title haven't spoken in a while. Ask your second question. Dream, respond, and then I'm gonna go into pause. Logic, Chef. And then Truth, let me know when you gotta go. I'll let you give your closing statement. Go ahead, Johnny. Ask your second question.
My final question is, my brother, what's supposed to happen if every FBA gets on board? How does that affect Jamaicans or Haitians or Puerto Ricans or anybody else that we call quote unquote tethers? How does that affect y'all? How does that have any relevance to what y'all got going on?
Go ahead, Dream. That was a question to you. Thank you, Johnny. Stay with us if you can. Go ahead, Dream.
How does it affect me? Y'all start calling me personally. Y'all start calling me a tether. That's how it affects me. Like personally, I don't want none of that reparations money. Y'all can have it.
Oh
I do agree. What I agree with FBA with, like this whole talk about reparations only going to people who can trace their lineage to American slavery. I'm cool with that. That sounds right to me. But y'all are taking it way too far now. Where now you're attacking immigrants and because you think immigrants want to take your reparations money. I don't want your reparations money, dog. But this to me, in my opinion, this all stems around reparations money, and you're driving a wedge between black people because of reparations money, because you think all these other people are coming here, taking our welfare, taking our reparations, taking everything we fought for civil rights, affirmative action, welfare, all the free stuff we get. These immigrants are coming and taking it, and you're throwing a wedge in between black people because of that, because of your free bag. And it's all because you want the bag to yourself. And you know what I mean? And y'all may be right on that. I'm not fighting y'all on that. What I'm fighting y'all on is this division that y'all are creating. Take your bag and go, bro. But stop making it where everybody's your enemy. Ain't everybody your enemy? And stop acting as if every FBA is in favor of reparations, because they're not. And stop acting as if every immigrant is against reparations, because they're not. You'll find more immigrants that are for reparations just for Black Americans than there are immigrants that say no reparations for nobody. That's a fact. Immigrants will support reparations just for Black people, but for some reason Black people don't want to accept that. They hear one or two immigrants saying they don't support reparations and they just label that as all immigrants. But they don't do that with why don't y'all do that? The FBA that don't want reparations, they're coons, and then the immigrants are tethers. Is that the difference?
No more questions. Just state your case. I gotta move forward.
I think I've said as much as I can say to that question.
Okay. I'm gonna get Chef, Logic, and then Truth. I'm gonna let you give your closing statement. Is that cool?
Cool.
Okay, go ahead, Chef or Logic, whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go first right quick, right?
Go ahead, Logic.
So I've heard Saviour say that he doesn't believe that they're gonna get reparations, right? But the black people here in America, we're not gonna get reparations. I've also heard him say that the FBA movement / lineage is all about determining who qualifies for reparations, and yet he says that he doesn't believe that we're going to get it. So I'm still asking the question of what's the significance, right? Like in what direction are you moving the needle once you've established this sacred number of all the African Americans who qualify for reparations? Like what power does that actually like socially grant us? Does it give us the leg up in the court case or legislature, or like what is establishing that actually doing for whatever the movement is supposed to be accomplishing? And that's where like I'm still right there, right? Like what are we doing all this for? What does it invoke all of this vigor about the conversation for? Like I'm still trying to figure out. So now that y'all have established whichever people group y'all want to exclude or include, like what does that actually do for your so-called movement? I'm still asking that.
Okay, kind of.
Truth, you want to respond to that?
Certainly. It's more than reparations, like I said before. Now, remember the thing about what's going on in many of these American cities where the immigrants are taking resources and a lot of black people are getting upset. And the reason why they're getting upset, a lot of these are black Americans, and they see that all the monies and finances and benefits are going to people who are not foundational to this country. And so being the FBA is standing on that principle. It's saying, take care of the people who built the freaking country. How about doing that? You know, will it come in terms of a big paycheck? Probably not. But there are little things that can be done. But you have to bring attention to say, hey, this is this particular lineage group that's being ignored. And you need to address the needs of this community. And so this is what I'm speaking to in terms of addressing the ills in our community. And like I said, my channel, I consider myself FBA, but I deal on a musical level, and where I'm trying to prevent other individuals from different cultures claiming things that are clearly Black American. So I come from a different angle. So FBA and their position is anything you want it to be, as long as you're protecting the culture, as long as you're working on behalf of the lineage, the people who are part of that lineage. You work, whatever that may be. It's not tied to one thing. This is why I say it's not an organization. There's no policy, guidelines, what FBA should represent necessarily. You take that mantle and you design it in a way that benefits your people. And with the work I do, I know I'm benefiting my people because I hear it in my comments that they appreciate that I'm standing up for this lineage. So it's bigger than that. Think outside the box and stop limiting yourself to reparations.
I'm not thinking outside the box. I'm trying to actually follow the game plan here, right? Because right now it kind of sounds like y'all just like the petty advocates, right? We gonna march when we gonna march when Fat Joe say the N-word, right? We ain't gonna really try to tackle no serious issues that might actually lead to some economic development or something. We're here to set some kind of magical social standard on who can call themselves Black, who can use the N-word without getting chastised publicly and stuff like that. Like that's really kind of how it sounds, because I mean I can't see any real activists worth their salt making a bunch of noise about Fat Joe saying the N-word. That ain't furthering no cause or like I said, moving the needle towards some kind of agenda, which you have kind of failed to describe so far. All you've done is say it was not about reparations, and then the thing that you say that it is about is totally irrelevant. That doesn't help Black people. That doesn't even instill a sense of confidence.
You're serious. You're saying what I'm doing on my channel is irrelevant. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I got thousands of subscribers who don't believe that. You're actually saying what I'm doing is irrelevant.
That's disrespectful as hell.
Come on, brother. Are you serious?
It was disrespectful.
That was very disrespectful.
It's disrespectful, from my opinion, to be like Fat Joe saying the N word.
No, address me. Address me. You said what I'm doing.
I'm doing it.
It's
right,
irrelevant.
so I'm saying addressing
that.
Fat Joe.
No. Address that. Address that. Address what I'm doing on my channel. All right, listen. I told you what I'm doing on my channel.
I don't think
I told you what I'm doing on my channel.
Hold on, it's bad audio. It's bad audio.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Let me say. Get truth and then logic goes.
Let me say this. I told you what my channel is about: uplifting Black Americans and highlighting the accomplishments of Black Americans, not Jamaican Americans, not Haitian Americans, Black Americans. And people on my channel appreciate what I'm doing. This is what FBA means to me. But what you're saying, so what I'm doing is providing a service to my people. And you got the nerve to say that's irrelevant. Are you serious?
I've been sitting back listening for a long time, because before you were explaining that you were FBA, and then you gave
Logic. Hold on, Logic. Answer that question specifically, then go into your point, please.
So if the purpose of you doing it is to specifically instill some kind of confidence in Black people, I think that's great, actually, right? I think that's that part of it is actually great. Now, you get into a different territory when I feel like you're now explaining that the reason that you're doing it is to kind of solve some kind of issues, or actually again move the needle on some of these social and economic situations. Now that's where I'm going to say no, it's not. Right now, I'm saying I'm including you in that because you're the one up here claiming that you were FBA, right? And you also made claims about FBA being about reparations, which now you're kind of retracting how important reparations is, because you've already said that you don't think we're going to get it, but you've also stated very clearly like the whole point of establishing this lineage is for reparations, right? So why wouldn't there be at least a little bit of confusion there with me as far as what is it that you're trying to accomplish? So if you try to summarize your channel, you would summarize as uplifting Black people. Excuse me. Now I'm saying that if your method of uplifting Black people is by simply establishing who can in public say the N word, like we're talking about this Fat Joe conversation, I don't think that's that's not really uplifting Black people. Like to me, it's not. So
okay,
you kind of have to do with that what you will.
You're okay. I'm going to respect your opinion, and that's cool. But I believe on the top of this show, I immediately said that FBA is not an organization. It doesn't have bylaws. It doesn't have a business plan. And so what you do, you use the ideology of the lineage. Now, again, just because I say we may not get it, don't mean I'm not advocating for it. Okay? Don't get it twisted. We deserve it. And if there was a possibility that we could get it, I would be right there. But my point is, I choose to focus on other things that will uplift my people as well. That's part of the whole thing about being FBA, being doing the work to benefit your people and your lineage. That's what it's about. And so for every individual, it's a different thing, brother. It's not one thing. And so you're focused on this reparation thing as if that's the only thing. No, because it's not an organization. Because, like I said, it has no bylaws. It has none of that. So it could be anything you want it to be. And if I'm uplifting my people, that's a great thing, brother. That's a great thing. And nobody should disrespect that.
Yeah, I don't think you do the movement any justice when you say it could be anything that you want it to be now.
Oh my God. It's uplifting your people, highlighting the accomplishment of your people.
I hear you, right? I hear you. So let me just ask you a simple question,
oh my
right?
God, man.
So how is the how is the anger or the vitriol towards Fat Joe for saying the N-word How does that uplift black people?
Why don't you
That's another
listen?
issue.
Listen,
That's
listen.
another.
I explained that. I don't know why you're not listening. You're doing this on
Hold on,
purpose,
and then
right?
I want to let Chef get in there. Then my brother.
You're doing this on purpose. I explained to you, the majority of black folks don't want people using that word. That's the majority of us. Why? And the fact that you would just not acknowledge that and say there's no problem using the N-word. What's the big deal? When we know that your mother and father wouldn't appreciate that word being used around them.
You know what? I did hear you. I did hear you say that.
Stop that.
I did hear you say that. I just didn't
He has
believe
no
it.
right using that word, period.
I think a very large part of the black population uses the N-word.
No, they don't. They do not. They do not. And you know better than that.
All right, hold on, real quick.
I think that they do. That's me.
Let me get.
Yeah, that's you.
Let me get
I'm
some
not
control of this.
surprised. I'm not
I got one
surprised.
last conversation I want to have. Let me get some control real quick.
I'm not surprised.
And I appreciate y'all for staying on the panel, man. This shit looks real beautiful. Us sitting up discussing. I do have to say, I would, if it's any females in the chat that would like to give their perspective, shouts to I am. But if you want to give your perspective, please come up, because it's just a bunch of men talking to men, which is, you know, it's cool. But I'd like to hear different perspectives, even different races. Don't worry about the tether and all of that. Those are just, you know, those are names you're gonna be called. I get called the tether, and I still don't 100% know exactly why, and I don't really care. But I want to let Chef get his conversation in. We are gonna do the after party, because I still want to have this hip hop conversation. I know Truth, you talk about music, so I want to at least let you talk on that, then give your closing statement. We're gonna talk a little bit about how hip hop is 50-50 creation of Latino and Black. And then we're gonna do the after party specifically on Carnivorous podcast, because you know, I feel like, you know, I still want to let him get his speech. Chef, I'm gonna let you go, and then Hits, and then we're gonna move on to another conversation. And then if y'all want to do whatever, go on Carnivorous podcast and support the brother, support Truth Saviour, support Tribe Media. If y'all have links to channels, definitely support it. If I could put the link up for you, I will. Chef, go ahead, my brother. And then I'm gonna go to you, Hits.
Yeah, I think everything that we say as African Americans get questioned, even by, you know, our own people. Like it's just a constant, you know what I mean? It's just a constant, I don't think it's gonna work. You're doing it wrong. You should do it my way. You don't have to agree on everything to be agreeable. I think that's the bigger issue. You don't have to agree on everything to be agreeable, meaning we can agree on the overall aim and then disagree on particulars, right? That's fine, but y'all make the particulars overshadow the overarching goal. Now, if you disagree with the overarching goal, then we got to say we got to put you in another category. You dig what I'm saying? Now you're becoming a hindrance. You dig what I'm saying? I'll give you the example.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we in the civil rights era, and you don't agree with the tactics of the sit-ins, right? So because you don't agree with the tactics of the sit-ins, you don't support the NAACP, when the NAACP is doing more than just the sit-ins. They're putting in money so we can have legal funds so we can fight cases in the state and eventually take these state cases to the federal level. So just because you disagree with the sit-ins, you're going to make a big tissy over the whole civil rights movement and say, I don't agree with none of it. It seems like that's what we do at this point, where we just can't sit here and say, okay, I ain't tripping off Fat Joe using the word nigga. That really don't affect me. But you dig what I'm saying? When you have your disagreement with that, you then blanket it over to the rest of the situation. Like if FBA is saying, yo, we're showing our lineage, our separation, meaning our being ethnocentric, they're basically telling us that we don't have the right to be ethnocentric when they are ethnocentric, right? Every Caribbean or African that come here, they will tell you, I'm Nigerian. I'm Somali. You feel me? You're going to recognize who the hell I am. Now, they don't just want to get put up under the blanket term of black, right? And they don't want to go with the generic term of African American. Somebody told me that Elon Musk could be termed African American at some fucking point. So obviously, African American worked for 30 years. Now, in this climate, it really don't, because you have too many immigrant black people of African ancestry or blacks here now. So the ADOS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the non-immigrant black people have to have a more defined name. That's all we're saying, to delineate us from all of the other people who could be called African American or be called black also. We just want our separation like y'all have y'all's, right? That's it.
And once again, this is Chefreen. They destroy his name as much as they possibly can, every chance they get. But we are going to do the after party on Carnivorous podcast specifically. I'm gonna pull up to the show for a little bit. The link is in the chat. Hold on, Dream. The link is in the chat, and then I'm gonna let Johnny 2 Times speak for real quick. And he wanted to explain tether, and then I promise you I'm gonna get to you hits, but I gotta get to this hip hop conversation because we've accomplished the first two. I don't know how we did it. First 2 points.
No, y'all did good. No, I think there's a person who didn't get a chance to speak once again.
Oh, who is that?
Once again, check the back chat, please, Brass.
No, he
Brass,
spoke.
check the back chat, please.
Okay, cool. He spoke. But I'm gonna let Johnny explain. He said he wanted to explain tether real quick, and then True Saviour, just let me know when you want to close out for you, because I don't want to. You've been on here for as long as I have, almost 3 hours now. So Johnny 2 Times, go ahead and explain tether, then I'm gonna get to the rest of the panel. Go ahead, Johnny.
A tether is not an immigrant. A tether is not all immigrants. It is an immigrant, but it's not all immigrants. A tether is only somebody that clings to FBAs, African Americans, blacks, whatever y'all want to call us, but FBAs to try to feed off of our accomplishments or our hard work. It's like a ball being tethered to a pole or a boat being tethered to the dock. A tether basically means tied to or connected to. That doesn't mean you are the pole or you are the dock. It just means you're connected to it. That's it.
Okay,
you're just leeching. That's it.
Okay, once again,
can I respond to that, please, Brass?
Yes, but I gotta let the actual CEO of Tribe Media get in this conversation. Go ahead, Dream, and then once again, and then please, I apologize, Hits. Go ahead, American Dream.
Appreciate it. Because people say it a lot, like tethers are just using what FBA, all the civil rights FBA fought for, and they're coming here and taking advantage of it. But really being honest, Caribbean people, these so-called tethers, have been a part of the civil rights movement since the beginning of the civil rights movement. Caribbean people have been a part of the abolishing slavery, big time, major.
And y'all created
those. Let me finish, please. Let me finish, please. Let me finish, please. Let me finish. There are. Anybody can say, right? The gay community has also hatched their wagon onto the black struggle and have gotten a lot of stuff from it, a lot of rights from it. But it's the gay people in the black struggle that got those people those gay rights, the gay people in there. And it's also the Caribbean people in the black struggle in America that got those rights for Caribbean people to come here. It was Caribbeans who were fighting in rights that got Caribbeans to come here, not FBA. The same way it was gays that gave gays their rights, it's Caribbeans in the civil rights struggle that were fighting for Caribbeans to come here. Y'all FBA people weren't fighting for Caribbeans to come here. Y'all didn't give a shit. It was the Caribbeans who were involved in it that did that, not y'all. And that's true for the immigrants that are here now. It's the Puerto Ricans and the Mexicans and all them Latinos that are here that are fighting for immigrants to come here. But they're doing it on the black people's wagon as well. But it's those immigrants that do it, not FBA. So stop taking credit for shit y'all didn't do. Because
what are you talking about, bro? Hold on. Can I say this, please, man? Please, can I say this? Let's say that y'all.
I don't know. Wait, stop.
This is Johnny, bro. This is Johnny, bro.
Okay, hold on 1 second. And then I gotta let Hits get in. He actually owns Sharp Media. Come on.
Okay,
go ahead,
I apologize. But come on, bro. That don't even make sense. Let's say you did fight for immigrants' rights to come over here. Yeah, y'all got here. Now what? Now y'all sitting in the back of the bus with us. You see what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing, bro. We made it possible for y'all to have.
Saying y'all fought for us because you didn't.
Mute your mic. Go ahead, Tony.
We made it possible for when y'all got over. First off, we made it possible for y'all to even want to come over here. Because if we didn't make it possible for everything to be kosher like it is now, y'all would have been like, oh, nah, it's just as bad as it is in Jamaica. I'm cool. It's just as bad as it is in Puerto Rico. Y'all might have made it possible for y'all to come, but we made it possible for y'all to want to come. Because despite what you think,
that was the white man. That was the white.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem that I have, bro. See, the problem is y'all. The problem ain't that we think we created everything. The problem is y'all think that we didn't create nothing. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like, let's be real, bro. Come on, man. I'll mute. This is crazy.
Okay,
bro.
Everybody mute. I gotta get the actual CEO of Tribe Media, let him speak, and then we gotta set up for this after party. But I'm gonna have this hip hop conversation. You're not going to run this show. I'm going to run this show. I'm just moderating. I'm not giving my perspective. CEO of Tribe Media, NBNY Hits in the building. Go ahead, my brother.
I don't need the big screen.
Okay. Yeah, but it's not your choice.
No. I'm just here to thank everybody, in the chat on both channels, Carnivorous, all of our mods, everybody who liked, shared, and subscribed. Good topic. New York in the building. You already know that.
I see you once again. Go ahead.
No, I just want to thank everybody for, showing and proving we can have cordial conversations about difficult topics.
Yep.
And the less we name call, the less we disrespect, the less we are rude and mean to each other, the further the conversation will go. And that's not to say people ain't afraid to, state their case or stick their chest out or something like that. But we can't move the conversation forward if we can't converse. All right. So big shout out to our big bro, True Saviour, for coming on.
Yes, for sure.
Our brother Logic, my Tri-Media brother DQ. All the music on our channel, written, produced by DQ Hampton on all platforms. Big shout out to my big bro Brass, holding it down on the host tip. But no, I just wanted to thank everybody for coming, having good conversation, good back and forth, good points. So keep that up. And like Brad said, we're gonna discuss the hip hop conversation and then move hopefully over to Carnivorous podcast for the after party.
Facts. All right, so now I'm a move it to this conversation. We got through the FBA, we got through the Fat Joe, talk about nigga. I'm sure we're gonna have this conversation more. I want to spend a little bit of time on this because this is the other conversation that sparked up, and then I'm gonna let Truth Saviour start and then give his closing. We're back to Truth. We're back to the same conversation that we tried to sort out before about Latinos and Blacks starting hip hop equally. I don't know why this conversation keeps kicking up in this conscious community. There's this conversation about Black Egypt, right? And from what I'm told, every 2 years, 3 months, 6 months, whatever, it just goes from nobody talking about it to just completely a firestorm because somebody said something. Now, we have great shows on our channel. You have 1,000 shows on your channel about music, the Bronx, and where hip-hop started. I just want you to take a second to start on that because now, for some reason, we are back to Latinos and hip-hop Latinos and African Americans in the Bronx starting hip hop equally, meaning, i.e., I've even heard the newest argument is that of the 5 elements that that guy called the elements of hip hop, that 2 of them, tagging and breakdancing, were started by Latinos. I want to do this as a separate show, but I would be remiss without your expertise on the topic. It's basically the basis of your channel. Latinos and hip hop, Latinos and African Americans starting hip hop equally. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, this would probably be better for another show.
Yeah, I know, bro.
Yeah.
I know. Just give me 90 seconds on it, and then you're closing on the FBA, and then we'll talk about it for a little bit. But I want to move over to Carnivorous Podcast. Hits or Logic, can y'all put the link to Carnivorous Podcast in the chat, his YouTube? And then, Chef, are you going to be ready to spark this up in about 5 or 10 minutes after we close? Just let me know. Go ahead, Truth.
Yeah, there's a narrative when we speak about the 50-50. Some are trying to say that Black Americans are saying, or foundational Black Americans are saying, that Latinos weren't there at all. I've never made that claim. I've always said that Latinos were there mainly because of proximity. The argument made by me and others is that they're not the creators. They're not the ones who created hip hop. Because when you trace the quote unquote elements, you can directly tie it to Black American culture. You have people on the other side of the argument will argue that it doesn't come from Black American culture at all. And so what my channel serves to do is to provide all the receipts and documentation that clearly shows that it comes from us, and without us, there is no hip hop. And so that's why I like to speak to the FBA lineage, because I want to protect it, because it's under attack. Let me say this one thing. People think it's just hip hop. Some people are going after all of our genres of Black music. They're saying if there was a percussion or what they would call a Latin percussion, somehow we have to give credit to those people. And so I make videos documenting the origins of all of these things. And so, I would love to be able to talk about it in detail. I don't want to take up too much time. But
we'll do a separate show. You want to set up something separate for later in the week?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Go ahead. So go ahead, Truth. Give me your closing statement. I'll allow these brothers to talk, and then we're gonna move over to Carnivorous Podcast. He asked me to give him about 10 minutes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to tag off something the last brother has said, that we made it possible for other immigrants to even want to come here. There was a YouTuber named Tanya TKO. Her video went viral in terms of, she was talking about Nigerians saying what they would do if they came to America. Basically, she broke it down where she would say, if we Black Americans didn't do what we did in America, you wouldn't even want to come to this country. So the mere fact that you even want to come, you should be on your knees thanking Black Americans and saying thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the real history. If it was up to white people, they wouldn't want anyone to come here. You know what the proof of that is? The MAGA movement today. They don't want this country but for white folks. They want to go back to a time when it was just them. But we fought that back in the day. And we took those walls down, and that made it possible for all these other immigrants to come in. And at the end of the day, they want to crap on us. Forget how they even got here. So that's the truth, and that's the story right there. And so, but I want to thank you for inviting me. I had a good time. I liked the back and forth, and hopefully we can do this again. Logic, I know we bump heads, but you, my brother, Hits, I want to hear more from you. And Prize, thank you for inviting me. And DQ,
yes, of course.
I see you today, but blessings.
Of course. All right, so I'm gonna close it on that because I want to move over to Carnivorous Podcast. I've been up here for 3 hours. These conversations, I always have fun having these conversations because I love the passion that is exhibited in these conversations. Sometimes it gets a little crazy, but that's my job to moderate. Dream, I appreciate. I'm gonna give all y'all a chance to close, and then we're gonna move over to Carnivorous Podcast. Just make sure that's the after party. I want y'all to support these channels, man. Don't do it with just talks. You know, take a second, subscribe to our channel. Take a second, subscribe to Carnivorous Podcast, True Saviour's channel if you're not subscribed, and then we'll move from there. The fact that we got 196 on 2 separate channels is fire to me. It means that we're in a good place, and we didn't have to get banned or anything like that. So, Truth, I appreciate you. I'm gonna just go down the line. Greg Nice, I appreciate your patience. So I'm gonna let you take 90 seconds, close out your conversation. He said, Street Translation said, don't subscribe to that damn tether. We got Reggie, we got about 10 minutes here, but there'll be an after party on Chef's show. We're talking about kind of like hip hop now, but Chef is going to encompass the entire conversation later. Shouts to you and Sonetta Studios. Go ahead and Greg Nice, take 90 seconds and close out.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the bill. Appreciate the brothers on the bill. This was an excellent space, man. I appreciate the fact that the brothers, we spoke hard to our positions, 10 toes down, no disrespect toward any of our brothers up here. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes good conversation. That's how progress is made. Secondly, I just want everybody to know, man, FBA is just a lineage. It's not an organization. It's not a group. It's not a movement. It's just Black American, a different terminology used that is solid and logical for us today. For instance, reparations. I heard the brother Truth. I respect his position. I think that, you know, with a lot of doubt comes a lot of progress, because without that doubt, we would never have got civil rights in the 1800s. We would never got civil rights in modern times today, and we never would have progressed to the things that we progressed to the point we are today, sitting on this podcast on YouTube, talking to one another from different areas. So that's progress, and a lot of people doubted that. So, you know, never doubt it. You know what I'm saying? It may not come in our lifetime. I believe that. I probably won't see it. Hopefully my son won't have to take on that fight, but he might have to take on that fight, you know, for his son, his seeds on over. This is a fight that's never ongoing. We are old. This is a debt that should be paid, and we are owed that debt. And just, you know, on a hip hop stance, this is a Black American genre created, oriented by Black Americans. It's documented. You can go back to the damn 40s and see brothers rapping, sisters and brothers dancing, doing floor moves, things like that you see in modern breakdance today. So that is without a doubt a genre created. Rock and roll, another genre recreated, but was taken and usurped by white folks. We gave reggae a reason to stand. Reggae was created by a Black American, given to them, but we don't take credit for that. But that's a fact. You can look it up. You can Google that. You know, I just want all my brothers and sisters to understand we have opinions. Everybody's entitled to them. You know, we eat the meat, spit out the bones, and that's how we build. And I just want to thank you for giving me a platform to speak my speech. And the rest of the brothers and sisters, I want y'all to have a good new year. And, you know, in 2025, let's be more polite to one another. Let's speak well to one another, and let's build to a better future. Peace and love.
Peace, peace, peace. All right. And then I'm going to go to once again. Go ahead once again. Close out 90 seconds.
No doubt. I appreciate that. One thing I want to do is address True Saviour. And it's for him and all of us, basically. We're all passionate about trying to help our people in different ways. And I respect what anybody is doing if they're sincere. You know what I mean? So, anybody can point the finger, but sometimes to move a mountain, it takes the first stroke, you know what I mean? The first dig, and then you just keep going and going until, you know what I mean, you move that mountain. So we're all doing the best we could do. You know what I mean? If we're sincere about it. The next thing I want to say, as far as reparations, this is something I have brought up on other YouTube channels. Okay. Now, I definitely feel, see, this is where delineation is important. I'll accept that for reparations in this country. If we were to receive reparations in this country, then definitely lineage is important. Because if not, everybody's going to come here and want reparations. And that's not fair to Black people who's been suffering since the 1500s. So, in that regard, we should delineate if it comes to that. But the thing is, like I said, if there's no political movement to get reparations, especially on a federal level, then it's all just talk. You know what I mean? And I had suggested to a couple of people, and of course, nobody agreed, everybody yelling, talking over each other. I think the best thing that we can do is start a reparations movement amongst ourselves. Now, we don't have to call it reparations, but of course, there are Black people who are doing better than others. You know what I mean? And I always thought, come on, man, we can start a fund, a reparations fund amongst ourselves. Whether it's angel investing, things of that nature, loans, you know what I mean? Like, especially when you look at Black billionaires and millionaires, and then people like myself, I make 6 figures, that ain't nothing. But there's some people that make 5 figures. And there's some Black people who are homeless. So I think we really need to do for self. Elijah Muhammad, the Nation of Islam, they always had that mentality of do for self. And of course, we had our own, and then you had Black Wall Street, Oklahoma, white people came and destroyed it and all those type of things. But we're not there now. We're here and we're stronger. You know what I mean? So I really think we need to do for self. That's what I want to see. And lastly, as far as hip hop, like I said, I've been listening to hip hop since King Tim III and the Fatback Band. Okay, that came out in 1979 before the Sugar Hill Gang. Okay, I grew up in Far Rockaway, Queens. 2 of my best friends, Grandsire Shockdale and Ramel Z, was on the soundtrack to Wild Style. Go look that up. At the end of Wild Style, you'll hear Grandsire Shockdale and Ramel Z. Okay, Ramel Z, I believe, was Puerto Rican or whatever, but Grandsire Shockdale, Black, FBA, I looked up to them brothers. Okay, there's never been a question about who started rap, hip hop, breaking, graffiti, knowledge of self, which obviously comes from the nation of gods and earths. There's never been a question. This whole problem started, and I got to go back to Tariq Nasheed. He started this confusion amongst the righteous people. I grew up with Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans never claimed to be Black that I was around. Of course, they was around our culture. We kind of fed off each other. You know what I mean? But again, just as far as hip hop, it's never been a question who started hip hop. And another brother, I forgot his name, who was on here, and he said something like, all of these conversations, if they're not producing tangible things offline, what's the point? You know what I mean? We can, I'll say right now, Black people started hip hop. Now what? Is Lear Cohen and Jimmy Iovine and all them people going to give us back all the money they made? So we got to start from here. So I would just like to see more tangible things come from these conversations, more respect. Calling people tethers and all that. That's childish. You know what I mean? And I just say peace to everybody. I really want Black people to have good communities, to have better health care, to have better schools where young men are learning trades, carpentry, auto mechanic, things of that nature. So that's where my focus is at. And that's where I hope these conversations can lead to. And with that, I'll say peace.
I got a question. Okay, I appreciate you. Did somebody, my man Sosa, shout out to Sosa TV and Crash Out Thursdays, like and subscribe to his channel. I'll put the link in there. I know no one, did somebody say that African Americans created reggae? I'm just
somebody
hoping.
said that.
Okay, I'm just hoping
Hold on. I have one question to the brother who was just speaking.
Go ahead.
Because he you know, and if you watch Wild Style, a lot of it was about fun. He said Ramel Z was at the end, and me being the DJ. Who was the DJ cutting up good times at the end? Most people don't know who that was because they never showed him. Yo, it was Grand Mixer DXT because they never showed him. Hilarious,
hold on, brother.
right? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, yeah, Ramel Z and Grandsire Shockdell. You caught me with the Grand Mixer
Double
DST.
Trouble Autumn was there. Dope, yo.
Yeah, Grandmaster Caz. Yeah, all of that. I got Wild Style on VHS. Yeah,
crazy,
you know what I mean? I love hip hop.
Nah, that's all, bro. All right, y'all. Go ahead, Brass.
Go ahead. Who do we have now? 1 second. I got the link. I'm putting up microphone check. Everybody keeps saying check out microphone
Close out
check
if you don't
in the
mind.
history of hip hop.
AK,
y'all definitely go check that out. So who okay,
I can close out if you don't mind.
I think Act and American Dream.
Okay, Dream, go ahead and close out, and then I'll go to Act. Go ahead, Dream. Close out.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes,
to all my tethers in the house, my tether mothers, hit me up on YouTube. Brass was nice enough to put my YouTube in the chat. American Dream guy, just look me up. Hopefully we could do some shows together and keep it popping. What I would like to say is, you know, I think FBA is making a mockery of the word lineage. And I think that an FBA from Baltimore has no more connection to another FBA from New York than they do to someone from Jamaica. Like, you can actually be more related to a Jamaican than to someone in New York if you're in Baltimore. And I think that y'all are making a mockery of what true lineage is, and you're creating this new definition of lineage to kind of suit what you want to do. And I do think that's going to do a disservice to even you in the long run. And the reason I say it's going to be a disservice to you in the long run is because all of this is for reparations, which, as everyone on this panel has said, is something you may never get. And you're creating all of this division over something you may never. As far as FBA creating civil rights and making it possible for us to come here, I also reject that premise. I think that it's as certainly as it's the black gays that gave gays in America their rights off of the black struggle, it's also the black Caribbeans that gave Caribbeans the rights in America, not FBA. And I'm sticking to that. So stop us any handouts. We're both here because America is a great country. All of us are here. I don't think FBA owes us anything, and we don't owe FBA shit either. And that's pretty much all I gotta say.
Excuse me? Okay, language. All right. I appreciate you. Dig this. I actually like Reggie's comment. That's kind of fire. Thank you, DQ. And that's one of the conversations I've always had about hip hop, is that the thing that is most disappointing about hip hop is we argue over the creation, we argue over the origin, even though it seems to be clear to most. The fact that we're not arguing with the same ferocity over who actually controls hip hop at this point, it boggles my mind. But I don't like to give my opinion while I'm hosting. I'll give it. I will do it from time to time. Let's see. Who didn't get a chance to speak? Act. Go ahead, Act.
Okay. So, man, thanks for the chance to speak. You guys need to get like a Cash App or something like that. I want to support you guys. But let me just put down my points real quick. The American Dream dude is highly disrespectful as a Jamaican. He has to understand, and this is something that I think that we need to address on a platform. Is not allowing people to spill garbage and things that are just not true. The black population pre-1965 was less than 0.5%, minuscule. So Jamaicans or Caribbeans couldn't even force or even push the issue along, which means that 99% of those people pushing the civil rights movement were black Americans. And you highly disrespectful saying that Caribbeans got Caribbeans civil rights movements when y'all didn't even break 1%. Second thing is that ethnicity is real. Your ethnicity is relative to your ethnogenesis, relative to the place you occupy, the laws, the conditions on the ground, the food you're exposed to, and everything else like that. And for some people to take those things as a joke is a problem for me, because I'm a doctor, right? I get up and I treat black Americans every day. And it's people like Truth, it's people like Tariq who inspire me to come in and to stay on the ground so I can treat young Black kids who come in my it's like my office with like an abscess or some other sickness, okay? Meaning that just because you're not doing anything in your life to push this movement forward doesn't mean that other Black Americans are not pushing these things forward on the ground and making progress. See there, and I'm gonna land with this. See that before an island rises up in the ocean, it has to push its way up. Does that mean that the island is not there? Does it mean that the island will not have valuable, arable land that can be rich and serve the people? Sometimes things take time to see and to bear those fruits. And just because you are not producing fruit in your life that's going to go into that basket of our ethnic group does not mean that the rest of us are not doing it. And I appreciate you, brothers. Thank you for the civil conversation. And I'm gonna land my plane there. Thank you.
Yep. I think we got everybody.
Can I go ahead and speak? I think we did get everybody.
DQ, what's good, bro?
What's going on, DQ? No, DQ closing this month.
I haven't closed it.
DQ will be closing this show. There's no question. Listen, I'm trying to.
I haven't closed either. So
as far as Chef, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get you Johnny 2 times. Then I'm gonna get to you, Logic. We'll close out with Tribe Media. I'm trying to get set up for this after